Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support the show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today. Welcome to episode 255 of Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast. It's your favorite froggy host. Your boy is sick again. And can't take 2 episodes off, guys. I mean, you're stuck with this. And I'm sipping on some throat coat to open things up here. Like, check that out, man. Like,
throat coat is ready.
Yep, ready to go. As always, I'm joined by the man who beats down sicknesses, Lord Cognito. How are you doing today, good sir?
I don't know about beating down, but I've been surviving.
Not beating down, you're beating off. Yes.
Yeah, pause. Well, it was a good birthday. It wasn't that adventurous.
wait, how do these two connect? Hang on. Visit Ohio.
Hey. I was thinking about Ohio. Good memories, man. I gotta figure out a way to get back, man. So much fun. But yeah,
tell me about your birthday, though. It was a big weekend for you.
Yeah, it was big. Shout out to my cousin, who my younger cousin. He shares the same birthday as me. So we usually have this weird thing where it's like, my birthday was Saturday, but we should do like a pre-birthday where we celebrate together and do something for each other because we know both of us are going to be wrapped up on our individual day, right? Nice. It was cool, man. He took me to this like super dope Asian fusion spot. Ooh. And my guy was in Midtown. I was like, man, this is kind of bullshit. I'm seeing like actors and actresses here. I'm like,
really?
You could tell this is the pop-up spot. When you know it's a spot when it doesn't have a storefront telling you what it is.
Yeah.
So my cousin gives me the details. So I go, so you got the bounce out front. So I'm like, yeah, I'm here. He said, what you here for? So I said, here, I'm here. Birthday resident. Who? I'm like, my cousin, Marcus, this, that. What's his last name? I'm like, got the same last name as me. Like, I showed you my ID. Like, you could tell they was not letting any riffraff up in this spot. So I was like, what type of spot he got me at? I go in there. It's like elegant. People taking pictures, got their dates, their significant others on the wall with these amazing, like, almost like Asian art and architecture and stuff. So I'm sitting there, I get in there, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So my cousin, he's like, yeah, you like this joint.
Yeah.
Like he said, he catch me by the bar. So, we get a couple drinks and then they see us and stuff. And yeah, man, it was dope. It was dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was really cool. The vibe was dope. The food was amazing. I got me these shrimp lettuce wraps that were to die for. Ooh. Absolutely amazing. Drinks were amazing. Like, everything was super cool. And you could tell this is the spot where the celebrities go. Like, you can tell, like, this is one of those.
Of course,
Yeah, like, I was like, oh, okay. What's funny is people looking at me in the face like I'm supposed to be somebody. So I'm like, yeah.
More cognito.
It's cog, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was dope. It was dope. Shout out to him. The only hustle I didn't like is that, they got literally professional photographers in there doing everything. So we eating, and then they like, hey, you want to take a picture? I'm like, all right, it's the birthday, whatever. But then they circle back. And then they hit you with so that'll be $25 for this thing. And I'm like, yeah, here you go. So I'm like, so this is me and Cuzzo up in the spot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the frame is dope, all this dope, but I wasn't expecting to get charged like I was, you know what I'm saying? You can tell like the business aspect.
Yeah,
they luring people in. So I was like, all right, I see what y'all doing, kind of thing. So that was Friday, and that was cool. Shout out to him. We had a great time. And then Saturday, obviously, you know what I'm saying, King the fam, Solve, his brother, Kai Batu. And then they take me out, and we actually did a Texas Roadhouse as a pregame.
I haven't been there in a few years.
Yeah, I haven't been there at all. I wasn't ready for what was about to happen.
Oh, good or bad?
Indifferent. So basically, the food is good. We chilling. I'm like I'm used to, like, when I go to like barbecue spots, there's a famous spot called BBQs, and everybody in Manhattan knows you get the Texas size margarita with the big extra shot in it, like a tube, like a little test tube. You gonna be lit. You gonna be lit. Like it's gonna have you right, but it tastes so good. So I had that. I had my little barbecue chicken, grilled chicken. Everything's good. So then they doing some secret squirrel stuff behind my back. So I'm sitting there and I'm noticing that the hostess, she keeps coming up to me. She's like, all right, y'all ready? So then it's like, you know how like you go to a Applebee's or somebody's birthday, they all come out.
I walked in an Applebee's since I was like 5, bro.
It was that kind of Applebee's energy, right? So all these people come out. I'm like, what is going on? The whole restaurant's clapping. King is laughing. And they're like, yeah, ride it, Conk. I'm like, what are you talking? Ride what? Like, what are we doing?
Oh, no.
Bro, so they bring out a whole saddle. And I'm like, well, what's supposed to happen here? And then they give you this towel thing, and it is mandatory for you to get on this thing and do. I'm like,
it's your big day. That's bro. You gotta spare you.
They had me on some Red Dead Redemption cowboy ride the bull foolishness. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, I said, I hate all of y'all. I know what y'all doing, and it's public. It's social pressure because the whole restaurant is involved.
And now everyone who's eating there is looking at you.
And they clap. I'm like, yo, what you clapping for? You clapping too loud. Like, what? I was mad at these chicks at the cross. Like, I was super mad. Like, everybody's expecting it. Like, this is the thing at Texas Roadhouse. You know who knows? Jimmy Champagne. I hate you because Jimmy Champagne. So I saw your picture. You was at Texas Roadhouse. I was like, how you know about that? And what's this whole thing about riding the thing? He was like, yeah, you didn't know. Bro, it was funny as hell because they got me a 4K. They recorded it.
Oh, no.
They put me up on IOP or blast. Like, bro, the memes and Astro Parrot. You know Astro Parrot.
Yeah, Astro Parrot's on you. Yeah.
Quick. You know what I mean? So they got me. So yeah, if you haven't seen socials, I'm floating around there, riding the thing. And so yeah, that was birthday. And then that was pregame. So mind you, I'm lit early. And then I saw other coworkers later on, like other people that were like, bro, I was in recovery. The good thing is I didn't have to do ILP this week. I was off for ILP the weekend. I took off, and then Sunday was super chill. I watched football all day. I caught up on rest, and it was good, man. It was a much needed disconnect and just kind of focus on me.
And it doesn't sound as quiet of a birthday as you sold it to me last week, though. You said you was like, if this is your low key birthday, I got to go to a birthday bash for Cog because like this, if this is the low key one, I'm like, you did way more than I do.
Bro, let me tell you. My 40th was crazy. I made everyone dress up in suits. We had, bro, I showed my pic. I'm proud of my 40. My 40th was lit. That if you want to see, because we getting close now. We get close to being a 49er now. But the fort, bro, that was one of my favorite birthdays I've ever done. Like I had a specific theme, and I wanted us to come like super professional, but it was a vibe. And I'm talking about like, you know, the 1950s, like it was a thing, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and we had the rooftop party. It was crazy. That I wanted grown and sexy professional, you know what I'm saying? And everybody bought it. Even my homies that hate wearing suits, they did it for me. I was like, so yeah, you always gotta have one of those. So next year will be another milestone, and we'll see what we do for that one. I like to have a theme when it's the big ages, like things that are really, you know, milestone worthy. So next year will be the big one.
Yeah, so little 49er themed party, you're thinking? Football themed party. Everyone wears 49er helmets. Backyard football.
Sadly, I don't think I'll be able to get anybody to do that. But we'll figure it out. I gotta brainstorm on it, whatever. But that was fun.
Game. Yeah, you know, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of dope. Yeah. Other than that, that was the weekend.
All right. Well, it sounds like a fun time. Mine was
what was yours?
My mom's birthday.
Oh, salute. Scorpio season for the mom?
Yeah. So went out, played some mini golf. That's how I got sick, as I was telling you earlier, but for the audience. Yeah, like just I don't know, man. I thought I was built different. I used to never get sick, but like back to back like this.
I know.
I don't know what's going on, man. Now, what made me feel a little less crazy, I don't want her to suffer, but knowing Laylee's sick made this a lot better. Because here's the thing, when I knew I was on some foolishness. I finished getting over being sick, right? I complete, as we talked last week, I complete my dosage, you know, I'm off the medicine, I'm feeling good. I wake up the next day after my mom's birthday and I got a sore throat. And I'm like, I'm not saying anything. I'm not even acknowledging this thing because it's got to go away. I can't be sick again. Like this is, I'm getting decent rest. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm just kind of like mind my own business. But then my wife comes downstairs. She's like, I have a sore throat. I'm like, I was like, yes, me too. No way. Now she got unfortunately worse than me. She's a lot more sick than me, but yeah, little headache, little baby cough, runny nose, the big one here, little congestion. I'm just like, dude, I don't know. I hate this time of year though. I really, it's ass. Like it's just, I look out my window. It's 4:44 right now. It's pitch fucking black.
Like,
it gets sick easily. It's just, it's the one time of year where I'm like, yeah, this sucks. Like if I could just skip this part and like, I felt like last year was the first year I understood as like a New Yorker. I'm like, I get why people go to Florida. Like why so many rich old people just migrate. They go down south, like, especially experiencing, good old North Carolina and whatnot. I'm like, I get it. This is a wave. It's very nice to have that consistent climate, but I love the ups and downs, man. Like once you come up out of this season and you enter springtime, it's just like I'm in the best of moods. So it's like it's a worthy sacrifice,
I get it. And I'm one of the weird ones that when snow actually happens. Actually, you had made a comment, I think, when we used to do Stelly about like the quietness of like at night when the snow drops.
Nighttime snowfall.
Yeah. When you said, I was like, yo, I relate to him on that. Like, it's something serene about it. I don't know what it is. So it's like the soft snowfall, not the blizzard joy, but the soft snow.
Oh, I can get down with a blizzard.
Bro. Oh, really? You even do the blizzard joy too?
Hunker me in, dude. I'm down. I'm down, man. Like I love inclement weather. I really do. Like nothing makes me feel I'm that weirdo though. And I've always been that way where like my best moods are when the weather sucks, like cloudy day, rainy day. When it's sunny out, I'm like, cut the lights, man. Like
cut the lights off. Are you feeling it?
Yeah, I'm not really feeling it. Except for, like I said, there's those periods during springtime, but like I've embraced the sun more than I ever have, but man, love me some hard rain, love me some snow.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, rain, I'm the opposite with you. Like rain, I'm like, damn, I can't go out now. Now it's going to be, I don't know, rain is weird with me. I don't mind snow though. Snow I actually don't mind. But I get where you're coming from. I get I do like the seasonal change of being in the Northeast and seeing things change. Obviously fall. And, like one of my favorite things is when my best friend used to live in Connecticut. And I used to do the drive to Connecticut. There's a parkway called the Merritt Parkway. It's a 2-lane joint. And it goes through the side part of Connecticut, a certain route. But in the fall with the tree, bro, it looked like you're in Forza Horizon 4. Like it is beautiful. It is the most scenic, beautiful drive. It just refreshing. I got the tunes blasting. I'm just driving up. I'm like, I love that. So that's the part of the seasonal change that I like from the fall part. And then obviously we talked about our love for snow and stuff like that in New York City.
Beautiful thing. Yeah.
You
know what's also beautiful, Cog, is our lovely patrons. Yes. Patreon.com/laststandmedia. Sign up over there, get early ad-free access every Thursday to Dukes Go Live there. Otherwise, we'll catch you on free feeds, youtube.com/laststandmedia. We'll take you wherever we can get you. Hop on those podcast apps, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. We'd love to hear from you. Use those links in the description. Jump on board with the Dukes wherever you can get us.
Defining Duke and Xbox podcast is brought to you by Shopify. When I started the Iron Lords podcast, Defining Duke, Lords of Gaming, and any new business I choose to be a part of, it seemed like I had to figure everything out on my own. It was beyond overwhelming, and every day seemed to introduce a new decision that demanded an answer. My everyday to-do list forced me to wear multiple hats that was extremely intimidating and overwhelming. Finding the right tool that helps you out, but yet simplifies everything is the ultimate game changer. For millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. From household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store that match your brand style. Accelerate your content creation. Shopify is packed with a ton of tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product's photography. Get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you by creating email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is the commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to process returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Duke. Go to shopify.com/Duke. That's shopify.com/Duke.
Let's open up with the spicy one, Cog. Let's discuss those Game Award nominees. I thought the Game of the Year votes looked solid. I was like, yeah, none of these are contentious to me. I didn't see anything there that I felt was like left out or, a little favoritism at play. It all looked good for me. It was really some of the trickle down, the other categories where it just got, to me, progressively worse. But we can get into that later. Yeah. I want to hear your thoughts on just generally Game of the Year nominees, how you're feeling overall about what has been nominated on one of the biggest stages in gaming. What are our thoughts?
Thoughts are pretty much aligned with yours, which is like, I looked at Game of the Year and I was like, okay, what are they going to do? Let me see, right? And the first thing I realized is, let's just get this off the bat. This is one of the most competitive years.
Yeah, I agree.
In gaming. In fairness, like this is a crazy year. So who's going to get left out kind of? And I thought they got it for the most part. You know what I'm saying? I thought they got all 6. I couldn't complain. Obviously, we knew Expedition was going to be there. Yeah. I was happy to see Kingdom Come Deliverance in the mix. I was worried.
Yeah, fans were really doubting that. I don't get it. I'm like, that seemed like such a shoo-in easily.
It should be, but I worry sometimes that, again, my concern is that, the panel doesn't get a chance to play a lot of these games. And my concern is always specific genres that get left out and stuff like that. So I was a little worried because I know they had they had the beginning of the year before Expedition came out to me, as far as like getting the word out, how great it was, stuff like that. But I saw that. Then obviously Hollow Knight, I knew. I was like, yeah, that's gonna be there. You already know that might be the dark horse as far as
I agree.
Expedition having to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel it's Expeditions to lose, but again, you got that. Obviously, Hades 2, Strong, which I didn't play, you know what I'm saying? Death Stranding 2, which I got to get into, I still didn't play, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. So I'm like, all right, this makes sense. My issues were like certain things as far as like, we're going to talk about debut indie in a minute, you know what I'm saying? But my major thing where I lost it was I went straight to like voice acting. And I went straight to
I know sound. Who you're thinking of for acting already.
So I go to voice act. I'm like, where's my mans? Where's Alex at? Because again,
the alters.
The alters. He's done something I've never seen done in video games. Shout out to my man Iron Rook. We talk about this all the time. And I'm like, damn, he didn't even get a nomination. Mm-hmm. Now, here's why I'm going to disagree by Expedition 33 people. Like, I love that game. That's my heart. But 3 nominations? Yeah. So now it's like they all fighting with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I wish they had the balls to make the tough choice. It's either you go Gustav or, you know what I'm saying? Whoever you pick, Mael, Ben Starr. You got to make the
I have a theory about.
All right, tell me what your theory. Help me out with that one.
So, first of all, I agree with you. I think the fact that this same game got nominated 3 times, and I mean, this is my pretty much de facto game of the year, one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really an award-worthy performance in here, as far as I'm concerned. Like, that's my hot take. And I really, I think Ben Starr is in here because it's a get back, because he probably should have won in 2023. All due respect to Asterion.
Yeah.
But I mean, Ben showed visible like frustration, like that. He poured his heart into Clive. Yeah. And even if I'm not a huge 16 fan, that was like the standout component of the game. This is like his dream role, and he deserved it, and he didn't get it. Mm-hmm. And you can see he was upset about that. I feel like he kind of got put in here as a get back.
Mm-hmm.
I think Miles great. I get why she'd be there. Charlie Cox, bro, what the fuck? I won't spoil anything, but what? This man has it makes us look bad, because what it shows is that it does not matter that this man said he spent 4 hours in the booth, didn't even remember the project he was working on, and has not played it. This is your award-worthy performance. The guy who barely even remembered it and didn't even know, like, he didn't know it was a game or whatever. Like, he didn't put, no offense to Charlie Cox. I mean, it speaks to his talent, but also, like, he did not put shit on the line like maybe Ben Starr or Jen English did.
Yeah.
at least one of those two getting nominated, sure, but all three of them is some seriously crazy bias of like,
oh, okay, I'm with you. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
So my theory is Ben Starr is the get back. Like,
yeah.
Let's It's like the DiCaprio kind of like, all right, get him
in there.
Yeah,
and I'm with you, bro, because it's like that. And to me, it doesn't do anybody. It doesn't do Expedition 33 any service. Now they all three are gonna take votes from each other. Right. And then you have two other games that could have been in the spot. And I'm going to go hard for Alex. So that was number one. But number two, actually probably even more egregious to me than that, is you know how I get down with music, bro. When it comes to video game music, you know how I get down. And I don't want to be disrespectful. Ghost of Yotai was cool. I like what's going on. There's a couple in there that's cool. I get it. And you could say, I don't like this game. This game was not a great platformer. It didn't have good combat. But South of Midnight, not in the music category, I'm willing to throw hands. I'm willing to get out the street. And I didn't like, to me, they gave the consolatory games with impact. They threw it in there, and I'm just like, now you just feeling sorry for it. To me, that's how I take it. Like, let's just give them, hey, you did something, and I'm just like, bro, I'm not going to say this game is a good, amazing platformer. I'm not going to say any of these things that gets deserving of any other category. But music, and you want to talk about snubs, my man Olivier Deriviere, shout out to him, who did the Streets of Rage 4 soundtrack. He had original this is my brother. Remember? Bro.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, this was insane. Ruger, like the original orchestra-like tracks, stuff that was amazing. I've never really seen done in video games. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, man, they couldn't get a nomination. And that's what pissed me off. So again, it goes to show you, to me, in my opinion, who's playing these games. You know what I'm saying? Or who's not playing these games kind of thing. So that one really bothered me. I ain't gonna lie. It's those two, the Alex Jordan from The Alters and South of Midnight not getting a nomination in the category I felt it's supposed to be in. That's all. But everything else, what was your egregious? Any ones for you that made you go?
I think this year called the most for like a best supporting cast. For sure. I think we need that. Best RPG was the one that stood out to me. We actually had some write-ins about it.
Talk to me.
We had two, actually. The one writes, hello, Dukes. You probably saw the Game Award nominations. I've got to ask, what's up with the RPG list? Why is Monster Hunter Wilds the only JRPG there? Why no Trails in the Sky, Digimon, or 100 Line? I think having two Obsidian games is crazy, and I'm someone who loves the Black Rock. I didn't think they were going to win, but having a nomination spot is so important for a game to get more eyes on it. Also, it sucks that Dispatch missed the deadline for the Game Awards. I need a poo, Mr. Magoo is the other write-in saying, hey, Dukes, a big travesty has befallen the games industry that needs to be called out. Avowed was nominated for RPG of the Year, and Trails in the Sky First Chapter was snubbed. This just goes to show that no matter how great Falcom games are, they will never get the recognition they deserve. Meanwhile, Avowed, a mediocre game, gets the nod. By the way, Maddie, I'm unsure if you played enough First Chapter, but it seems Falcom has retconned the country's name. In all previous titles, it was called Liberal, and in this title, it's called Liberal. Even Trails Through Daybreak 2 is a better game than Avowed kind of day. I think the JRPG category is big enough to just warrant its own thing. Like throwing Monster Hunter Wilds in here. You could bring up, it's debatable, like is Clair Obscur identifying more as an RPG or a JRPG? I think they don't do this because it saves the panel embarrassment, because it's going to be so many times games are misrepresented because they already are. But then they shouldn't be voting. That would be my take there. But I did find the RPG nominees conflicting, not even because Avowed is an RPG, at least. Like it fits the mold. I'm like many other people, like Last Defense Academy, I think the story behind Last Defense Academy and how much went into making it is more powerful than the actual role-playing game itself. Like the role-playing systems by like the 50th hour in the game, I take it for someone who played 120 of it. The role-playing systems are non-factors. It becomes a visual novel by that point in the game, and it's just like 70 hours of reading from there. They let you skip fights. Like it's not a role-playing game. It is, but it's not like a playable one to me, at least. But you could have thrown that in the JRPG category, along with Monster Hunter Wilds. I do agree, though, that Avowed kind of just getting the shoe in. It did feel a little bit like, what else did I play this year that was a role-playing game? There you go. Outer Worlds 2, 1,000% take it to the moon. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I think Expedition 33 has enough build crafting in it where you can get down with some of that. Even you could argue Monster Hunter Wilds, but Avowed just does not pass the sniff test in so many ways to me, in just reactivity and whatnot. It's just we needed a fifth slot. And so, I mean, the problem is that every year we go through the same cycle of like, we get these shitty nominations and then the industry who's voting for them tells us not to care. And the reason we care is because all of us understand a few things. One, it's not even about, I want my game to win. It's about the visibility clearly tracks with game sales. So many devs have talked about being nominated in these categories. You stamp it on your Steam page. It becomes a big marketing beat for you. Like, there's money in it for especially the smaller devs who are here, and they need to, I think, be accurately represented. But it's this constant game of deflection of like, oh, we did something fucking stupid. It doesn't even matter. These awards don't matter anyway. And I'm like, they do, because right now it's the best we have. Yeah. And when you're a part of an industry or you're working with an industry that says, hey, Charlie 4 Hours Cox is your fucking performer of the year.
4 Hours Cox.
Yeah. That to me is like, what? Are you guys paying attention even to the games you love? I mean, it's looking like an Expedition 33 sweep could happen. And you look at that and you're like, but you picked Charlie Cox? Not because he was bad. I'm just like, I won't say more. Anyone who plays knows.
You're right.
And that's the frustrating cycle is like the people, my solution has always been, you got to get more me and yous in there. People, they need a broader panel because what's happening is gaming is too big now for these sites, and they need people who vote, who are content creators, and go through whatever validation process you need, check whatever boxes you need, but podcast networks, whatever it may be, like Last Stand should be voted on this shit as far as I'm concerned. We play more than enough games.
Most games.
It's just, it's unacceptable because the press has an entire workforce dedicated to covering all this ground and they can't keep up. It takes all of us. So until they widen the panel, it will continue to miss.
On fire. 100% agree. I think that, when it was more evident to me, and I won't say the outlets who were saying this, but when I was at the Ninja Gaiden 4 event, and I remember we were talking about it and stuff like that, and let's just say they were 3 of 4 of the major gaming outlets at this event I was at. Okay. And I'm sitting there and we're talking, and they're telling me like, yo, we just don't have the bandwidth to cover the majority of these games. We have to make a business decision on what we cover. So what you're saying is spot on. And I think that's what it is. Because I've always said, people, look, I love the fact that this thing exists, right? But it still has its flaws and it still has some issues that we got to correct. And I've always felt that there is genre bias. Not that people actively hate, it's just that they're going to gravitate towards, and look, I love Avowed, right? And you know that, but at the same time, it was, more visible to more people, I guess, and people gravitate toward, as opposed to like a Trails, you know what I'm saying? Or like a hardcore JRPG. So I understand your frustration there, and I'll be the first to admit, like, I was surprised even. Like, I love Avowed, don't get me wrong. I was like, oh, wow, it's there. Like, okay. Like, I mean, what I knew, because I saw a lot more casual, I hate to use this term, like casual journalists playing it and having a good time with it. Sure. But you don't see people playing, like I said, the Trails. You don't see people playing the Alters. You don't see people playing all these other games. Because again, this, in defense of the outlets, there are so many games. So now you have to, like you said, change the process, broaden your panel, right? Go through whatever validation system, like you said, you need to get these people in, because I feel we have too many idiots. That's what I felt that with the Forza Horizon situation one year. I felt that. I also feel that, in fairness, Maddie, even though I feel bad for the multiplayer community. They can't get a shot because these journalists don't play those style of games. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like RTS community. It's specific genres that everyone's making business decisions, and then they're hyper focusing on specific titles, and a lot of titles get left out that are amazing that don't get the credit they deserve.
Yeah. Yeah. And to me, biggest snub from what I looked over was, at least for me, Chronos: The New Dawn. I thought that game was award worthy in a lot of ways. I think you could have thrown it in best action game easily. I don't know if it wins anything, but I think that game was really under discussed.
Yeah.
I hope it finds its way over time in the market, but that was a real big swing for me. And I like, you know, it's one thing to do Silent Hill 2, but again, it's come down too much to names, you know, like, you know, and that's fine because we all have our preferences and we're all drawn to like, what's the next big thing? Of course. But it just needs more people to support the voting. The industry is way too big at this point. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, it's not to me as contentious as it has been before, but there are still like these moments where I'm like, what are we doing? A forgivable error is kind of like what happened with Megabonk. I don't know if you caught up on that.
Yes, I just caught up on that one.
Yeah. So the guy behind Megabonk said, I'm withdrawing from the Game Awards. It's an honor and a dream for Megabonk to be nominated for the Game Awards, but unfortunately, I don't think it qualifies for the category debut indie game. I've made games in the past under different studio names, so Megabonk is not my debut game. I really appreciate the nomination, support, and votes, but it doesn't feel right in this category. You should vote for another one of the amazing debut titles. They're all amazing games. Thanks again. New Megabonk update coming soon from John Megabonk. This developer has kept his name hidden, but people have looked into it. Might be a guy named like Danny. Yeah. And so it's an interesting story on that there, but showing real integrity, no doubt about it. Definitely high IQ play by being like, new update dropping soon, and tons of people being like, oh, I'm buying it now. So this guy knows ball. But I do respect the move here. This is something that's forgivable because when you go to Megabonk and you click on the developer page, it is the only game they've released.
Yes.
That sort of stuff slipping through the cracks is fine. Unlike Dave the Diver, best indie title. It's like, oh, from the $1.8 billion generating Nexon or whatever. Okay. Yeah. What an indie. What a risk.
What an indie. Yeah, you funny.
You know?
Yeah, no, well said. Well said. I agree. What a form of integrity, right? Because he could have just kept quiet, got up on that stage, you know, accept the award if he wins. And what I like about it is, let's say he did that and it would have came out later, how bad that would have been for him, right? So to put that out there is super smart. And like I said, high IQ move. Now people are like, yo, you know what? Because you did that, you know, I want to see what's going on. The other thing, I don't know if you did you catch what Larian said? Like, yo, stop voting for us for community thing of the year for this 5-year-old game. For like, bro, stop with us giving us Baldur's Gate 3 and let somebody else, you know, get in there and so we can close our loop with this. So again, not trying to trash on it. There's still gaps and things that need to be fixed. But again, salute the Megabonk for the withdrawal. Now I'm curious, does the Game Awards honor that? Do the Game Awards at this late stage of production value of the show, do they make a change and throw someone else in this slot? I'm very curious about that.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see if they cast a revote. That would be a bigger problem, in my opinion, because it's I think
so, yeah.
Someone's tried to pull out. I think the best you can do is just not fill that slot, at least in such short notice. Yeah. Don't fill the slot and just have someone else. Whoever came in second place, if Megabonk was to win, give it to the second place winner.
Yeah.
Little, consolation prize, you know?
Probably from a show running standpoint, it probably makes the most sense. Probably, yeah.
All right. So that's what's going on with the Game Awards. Cog, there's a lot going on in the world of Valve. We got to talk about it. Before we get into the Steam machine a little bit more and kind of how Valve is thinking about it, I just want to talk to you about the myriad of Half-Life 3 rumors. Have you been paying attention to any of this? It keeps popping up.
Yeah.
Are you believing is the question.
I think I am. I think it's one of those things that like the timing feels right. Right, the timing feels right, and then obviously we know that Steam Machine's coming, so you know, why not? And then for those who played Half-Life Alyx or VR, you know, the door was open. The door was always open. So this is always one of those projects where it's like, yeah, you know, they're probably doing it. Is it ready? You know, obviously it would be an amazing splash if you could somehow line that up, you know, in 2026, you know, with your potential new device. And I think for me, my curiosity is more so how Valve positions themselves as far as, because, you know, they try to enter the console market in a way, but I'm curious to see how serious they take it. And like having a Half-Life 3 or just first party studios to me would denote seriousness. So I've been paying attention, and, you know, we'll see. What about you? Where are you at with this stuff?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. Honestly, it feels so rewarding because I have not played Half-Life 1 or 2 strictly because of this rumor.
Oh, wow.
I remember when I started covering Fallout 4, I even have a video like talking about it, but like a lot of people were like, Fallout 4 is the next Half-Life 3. Like that was 2014 when I started doing that. So I had never played, because I already have so many irons on that fire. Like I have Sly Cooper stuck in Egypt. I got my KOTOR remake on ice. I got so many fucking things I'm waiting for. I did not need to add one more to that list. I deliberately did not. When everyone was like, man, what cliffhanger? Man, what if we're going to get Half-Life 3? I went, I'm good. I don't. That's a smug baddie moment, by the way. We discussed on some time, what is a smug baddie moment? That's me being smug for sure, because I'm just like, y'all wait. And so when I finally see Half-Life 3 is real, maybe even this week, there is going to be that moment of my wait was only 3 months. Everyone else had to wait years and years. It's a little evil. It's a little maniacal, but I'm excited because it's actually feeling real for the exact reason you mentioned. Like the timing is right. Like if not now, when? And so many chatty Cathys out there. You got everyone from Nate the Hate, Insider Gaming. It's starting to become more reputable sources are stepping in, being like, there is some software announcement coming, and they're hearing things about Half-Life. So I've heard similar things. I'm like, okay, like little rumbling. So I don't know, man, but I'm starting to become a believer that Half-Life 3 may be real. The question is if they call it that. I wonder, because there was Half-Life 1, 2, Alex.
Right.
I don't know anything about Alex outside of it being a VR game, but like when it takes place in the timeline, I've heard amazing things though.
Bro, that was, again, it was 2 games that I was seeing the shirt I'm wearing, Demio, shout out to Resolution Games, made me a believer in VR. That was the game, because I was a hater. I'll be honest, I came into, I was like, I'm hating. And then my boy was like, he's like, look, he works over there at the time, and he was like, I got the game for you. And he threw on Demio. I'm like, yo, this is it. But then they said, okay, now that you're here, now we got to show you what a killer app in VR is. So I'm like, all right. And shout out to Meta Quest, which was dope, was that they allow you through AirLink to connect to your PC. Because remember, technically, that's not a first-party Meta game, but Meta Quest game. So what it is they let me connect to my PC, then you can access Steam VR. And I tried Half-Life Alyx through AirLink. And I'm like, wow. So at the time,
I've heard it's one of the few games that like does things that can only exist in VR or be done well in VR.
Yes, it is amazing. Prior to that, that was the killer. I would say now the killer app for VR is Meta got it back, which is Asgard's Wrath 2.
Yeah,
that is pure RPG in VR in an amazing way. Like that is like, okay, that's a killer app. That shows me some viability in this platform that you cannot do anywhere else. But prior to that, it's always been Half-Life Alyx. That's been the showpiece. It's been a technical showpiece and what you could do. So yeah, when I played, I'm like, man, I get why people are going crazy. So yeah, and again, when you end it, it sets up. Like, okay, there's definitely a 3 or something's coming.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, when you end Half-Life Alyx, it is clear as day they have left this open for another game. So yeah, the timing would be perfect for them if they could pull this off. They would get a lot of excitement.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that for our Half-Life faithful out there. I don't have too much of substance to say other than I'm watching, paying attention, and I hope it's real. I think Valve could use it because, let's move to our next topic. Valve's focus on the Steam machine is quite telling. They spoke to Eurogamer, and a member of their PR team said, quote, "We typically just work back from our own experience playing PC games and what we wish was possible to do and what we hear our users say as well. PC gaming has a lot of value to offer. There are a lot of game genres that started on PC because it's an open platform where people could mod and experiment and do things that are not necessarily possible if the distribution of software is restricted in any way. We don't really tend to work back from what's happening in other spaces, and we try to focus on our audience." So I found this quote interesting, Cog, because obviously the big conversation around the Steam machine that I want to revisit with you, and we kind of touched on it just a little bit before, is how viable it is in the open market. How many people are going to go out and buy this thing beyond you, me, the hardcore? And our audience is wondering the same thing. We have 2 write-ins about this. Jay Reed writes, "Greetings, Dukes. I feel like people are severely overestimating what these Steam machines will do. Most of my friends are the casual console market, the people who buy 1 or 2 games per year and rarely play anything other than those yearly sports games and COD. I've asked them about it since the announcement, and none of them even know what Steam is, except for one who has heard of Steam but thought it was a PC game. Your friend's a fucking idiot, by the way. I just want to put out there. Unless Valve starts getting into the broader market, the average consumer isn't going to pick up a console from a company they've never heard of. Have a people really need to get out of their bubble kind of day. Meanwhile, JP writes, hey, Dukes, are people being too bullish when thinking about the new Steam machine's impact on the console space? I'm primarily a PlayStation player, and I thought that Valve's announcement of the trio of new hardware to be interesting. Ultimately, though, I won't leave PlayStation because that's where my library is. And I imagine most console people are thinking the same way. If Valve doesn't have a storefront presence, doesn't address the same issues with anti-cheat preventing certain games from running on SteamOS, and isn't appealing to most PC gamers that wouldn't sacrifice the lack of power, then will it not just be another niche product like the Steam Deck? If they can't provide the games that casual players care about, I don't think they'll convince the current console players to flip. What do you guys think? Thanks for all you do, and have the Steam machine is an Xbox kind of day. So the audience has spoken, Cog. I'm curious as to your thoughts. The Steam machine, its viability, can it challenge any of the mainstays in the console space, or is it here to fill the void Xbox is kind of leaving behind in that console space? What are you thinking?
It's a great question. So I have more time to marinate because we broke the news last week, the Curse of the Dukes. We survived it. It came out right around that time. I'm like, yes. And it was new. So when we hear it, I'm like, man, they are in the space. Like, isn't that kind of the pocket Xbox wants to be in? And I thought the device looked sexy as hell. And it's cool, dope. And I'm shouting to Jimmy Champagne watching the video. I'm like, woo, you know what I'm saying? They're coming. So here's the thing. As I sat on it more and I started thinking about it more. And I gotta admit, man, I've kind of cooled. Cooled. And the reason why I've cooled is 2 things. All right. So one, the key with it is like JP and what you call was saying was that like, I'm thinking about it if they are, how serious they're going to take into account the console market, right? And the console guy, it's kind of like what Jay Reed said. They want to play, college football, because we saw Series S's and PlayStations fly off the shelf, Madden, Call of Duty, Fortnite, all these things. And the number one thing, and I remember when I got a Steam Deck, and I remember I was like, all right, cool, I'm ready to go. And mind you, this is what Destiny 2 is popping, right? We got Final Shape, Witch Queen, all this stuff is out. I mean, Witch Queen at the time. I'm like, all right, let's ready to go. And they're like, Bungie was like, you better not install that on that. And I was like, what you mean? Like, it was like, it's the Linux operating system. They have no anti-cheat. We will ban your account if you attempt. And I'm like, damn. So you got that. Then because it's Linux and it's not like Steam, like with Steam on PC, you're fine, right? You download the Steam version because we're playing on Windows. But remember, this is a closed ecosystem. This is the Steam OS. This is Linux, which means no Call of Duty, no Fortnite. Because again, a lot of this stuff either is on another store or has anti-cheat. And that's the thing. So now we're eliminating the biggest games in gaming, right? So I'm like, ooh. And then towards the end of our conversation last week, we talked about storefronts, right? Most likely, this is something you will get from Steam Store itself. It's not like me and little Timmy, we're going to Target, we're going to Walmart, we'll see it, and then, get it there. So I was like, damn, that kind of hurts. Also, the casual person. Now, the other thing, I don't know if you saw it, I'll probably send it to you. I think Linus Tech Tips, he just put something down, I'll send it to you, where he was sitting down with Valve. And let me see. I didn't say. Yeah, he was sitting down with Valve, and he's like, yo, so I'm telling you right now, if y'all get right in that 500 price point, y'all good to go. That's a look. And they responded to him. He said the energy in the room for that price point that he mentioned was not great. So everybody is like, so if you come in 600-700, that might not be a go, especially now that Digital Foundry kind of broke the tech down and it's like 5-year-old tech, which is kind of on a PS5 kind of thing. So now I guess what I'm saying is this. It will do well for people who, one, are already in the Steam ecosystem, who, two, are intimidated by getting a high-end PC and say, you know what, it's this cool thing. I can put it under my TV, under my box. I could play Steam without the commitment. There will be people for sure, right? And it's a dope product, but I am worried about the mass adoption now. And again, when you don't play the biggest games in gaming, nor you don't play PlayStation games, nor you don't play Nintendo Switch games, and then Xbox already kind of have Steam, it's kind of, and then if you're like 700, who this for? So I'll be honest, like I kind of cooled on it, man. Sure. And shout out to Brad. I was speaking to him. We did Summer Sign this week. So I'm like, yo, Brad, what are we talking about? So I'm like, so you in, right? He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, what? You ain't getting it now? Like, what happened? He's just like, what game am I getting per se? So the last thing I'll say is this. Where they got a shot with me is what we said prior topic, which is if they show like a Half-Life 3, if they show a commitment to first party studios, right? And say, hey, you know, you could do it and you nail the price. But let's say they get into a 500, then I'm like, okay, that's a compelling thing. I think for us, it's for us, the hardcore. But I'm just worried about mass adoption. That's pretty much what I'm. But where are you? Are you still hot on it? Are you? What are you feeling now? You know, with new information or just in general, like, yo, this is day one for you. You're in.
Yeah, no, you make a really good argument. And I agree with pretty much everything you said. I do think there's a lot of compelling reasons to go buy this thing if it's priced right. But you do mention like the things that keep the casuals out. You know, those games like Fortnite or Call of Duty, that hurts, right? As much as I want to sit here and be like, man, when they drop that Half-Life 3, it's going to be crazy. I imagine most of the sales will come from their already established PC base. But at the same time, I really think it comes down to the classic things, price point, exclusives. I think if they get a nice price point and they show this commitment to like, we're going to ship games more regularly than we have before, right? Like Valve games are significant because they don't come around often. And if they can kind of start pushing them a little bit more, I mean, you'd have to think jumping into the space like this, there's got to be something to it, right? That's where my head goes. I'm like, there has to be a little something to all of this. Like, it's not just Half-Life Deadlock, we're done. Like, there is something to it. And I don't know if they're looking at the Steam machine as a profit play. Like, are we going to make money by selling these things? I don't know if they view it as a loss leader. But based on what you shared with me about Linus Tech Tips, it doesn't sound that way. But I think if anyone can surprise us, it's Valve. I thought the Steam Deck was priced so well.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, man, I mean, can they do it again with the Steam machine? There's reasons to believe they would, but it really depends on how much they want to challenge. Yeah. If they really want to start undercutting and being like, you can get the games that you love right now for way cheaper over here. Like, you can buy our system for cheap. And obviously the Steam store speaks for itself on how cheap games can be. I think that does something, and that does say a lot. Like, oh, they're going for it. But if they're in that 650, 700 area, I'm right there with you where that cools me off. That's like putting a bucket of water on the whole thing. I'm like, man, like, especially I think the form factor, its size.
Oh, so sexy.
It's just also like, it's tight. Like it doesn't scream 700 plus to me. You know, it does, at least for me. I could be wrong, but I look at that and I think 500. I look at that, I think 550 tops, because it doesn't look like this massive piece of technology that I have to spend, you know, almost a G on. Mm-hmm. So I think it really does come down to the classics here. And until Valve reveals those 2 points, I can only guess on what they're going to do. For me, though, I mean, are people overestimating it? It depends who we're talking to. Is this going to come out and beat out PlayStation or Switch? No. But can this, if Valve plays their cards right, have they seen with where Xbox is going? We're happy with third place. We're happy with fourth place. Do they slot in there? And I, you know, not that Xbox is completely going away, but we know their approach to hardware is very different right now. And it's going to only appeal to their very core fan base and kind of what you and Colin mentioned it as an off-ramp, right? So now there is a bit of a vacancy, and that's why this is exciting. Again, it'll be very telling what Valve does in price points and exclusives, if they're there at all. Mm-hmm. But I could see a world where they see an opportunity to be like, we have the great storefront ecosystem, the hardware is ready to go. Like, we're a step ahead of them. Like, let's fill that void Xbox is leaving behind. That's major money to be made, even if they take, right, we're talking like there's 30 plus million Xbox Series consoles out there. Valve might be looking at like, hey, we sold 5-6 million Steam Decks. If we can do double that,
get that 10 at 12, yeah,
that's huge for them. That's over 10 million people that are now just attached to your storefront.
Oh yeah,
and I think they can do that because I think the Steam user base is dedicated enough where like even I'm looking at it like, and I have a PC, but I could find use for something like this for sure, especially as a content creator. I do think though, it's going to come down to, for the millionth time, price exclusives. Price. It's the classics, man. So we'll see, because that'll just give us all the information. But Valve's saying the right things. They said they wanted to be as cheap as possible, but then also that Linus Tech Tips quote, little troubling. But then they're like, we're focusing on our audience, and Steam Deck showed they get their audience. So I think what my prediction is we will have a $500 model.
Okay.
I think it's going to be the like, because they had the 2 terabyte model.
The 2 terabyte, and they had the 512.
Yeah, and I think the 512 is 500 or something like that. Where like, again, bro, when I saw that Steam Deck, they had all the SKUs lined up. Bro, I didn't even look at the $400. I saw, you go that low. Cool. But I went over to like the highest level, highest memory, anti-glare screen. I was like, you're the one. Like I spent big on it. I think that's what they're going to do again. Like, here's your lowly, you want to get in, go ahead. Here is the 2 terabyte model, which is like $700.
Yeah.
And we'll see if maybe that balance also brings people in.
No, that's a good point. Especially if they nail that low SKU, that 512.
Yeah.
That'll be big for them. And we just got to see how, because again, RAM and how things cost right now with, how expensive things are, going to be a factor. So I can't wait, man. We'll see. But they're there. 2026 is going to be interesting. They're a player in the game. And look, if anybody, like you said, could do it, it's them with an amazing OS, a dedicated, loyal base. My only concerns is obviously those big games. And then the rumors of 2027, both PlayStation and Xbox coming behind them, right? So we'll see how that goes. But I just love them. I will say this. I love them in this space. This is the strongest they've ever been. Yeah. And they're taking a big part of the PC market. So I like it. I like, competition is good. So I like it.
I think no matter what, it means good things. It'll just be interesting to see where they want to fall and all this. My only like, it's a mixture of emotion and rationality is like, I don't think you do 3 pieces of hardware now for, if you're not trying to take it very seriously. Like I still, the lingering feeling that has stayed week to week is this is a statement. Pardon me. This is like, you don't just do this because like, we're Valve and this might be cool. Like Steam Machine wasn't a major success the first time around. For them to come back around and kind of triple down at once and then to potentially follow it up with Half-Life 3. I think sends a very different message than we partnered with Alienware to make the first Steam Machine, and fucking Alienware. I mean, dude, as someone who recently got rid of an Alienware laptop, like, it'll be interesting to see. We'll see. All right. We move on to other handhelds like the Xbox Ally. For starters, COG, it's exceeding expectations. This is according to Asus themselves, where they say it's exceeding expectations and has had an extremely positive response from fans. The firm originally anticipated around $96 million to $160 million for the Ally range this financial quarter, but is now expected to generate $130 to $160 million in future quarters, something it said had left stock of the ROG Xbox Ally X in short supply. As many of you know, we introduced the first generation ROG Ally 2 to 3 years ago as a market pioneer. Over the past couple of years, this new category, especially the Windows ecosystem, has proven itself highly successful, Asus said, responding to a query about the handheld system. Quote, "We believe that we have achieved our original goals of premium positioning, creating a new growth driver in our gaming segment. That's why we released our 3rd generation ROG Ally last month. It featured a deeper collaboration with Xbox. Since its launch, we have seen the market response for it has been extremely positive. Particularly, there has been an appetite for the premium higher end models exceeding our expectations." End quote. So yeah, man, this is some of the verbiage Xbox is using too. Like Saramon talked again about premium high end shit. We'll get into that. But yeah, they're seem to be doing well here, which is good to see. And they just dropped a pretty big update for the Xbox Ally. For those who are wondering, it has new features and improvements for Armory Crate, for the Ally itself. So keep an eye out for that. But it's getting bug fixes. They added a CPU P-Core options under performance, update notification in the command center, and FPS limiter goes from 45 to 40 FPS. Just tons of little things here. And so they continue to tweak effectively the beta of this thing. But doing pretty solid, Cog. Your thoughts on the Ally doing some work on the market?
Man, good initial, news. Obviously, I would love,
numbers.
Truly static, hardcore numbers. You know what I'm saying? But it's I do think it's positive when the company themselves, when Asus themselves says it. That they, as far as their income expectation and things like that, that's cool. Look, we all know it's a niche device. We all know, it's a premium product, but it did go to show that, like how we talked about with Steam Deck, like people went to the big boy version. Mm-hmm. They were like, okay, let's just skip the other one and let's get this, because the views on the other one, the base one, was still a lot to be desired, especially with Baz out here and other OSs outperforming, getting more performance on its own device than their own operating system, right? So for me, this is all about Xbox, the FAC, which is the full screen experience. Continue to improve that, continue to tweak. I do think it's fair to say that it's almost was like a beta-like experiment in this iteration. Yeah. But I got the new update. So far, so good. Things are moving and shaking. I like where they're heading. And I know there's some other things that I don't know, we put in the notes today, but they're really trying to make things better for developers. And that's the thing that really piques my interest as far as where they're going, because obviously this is uncharted territory for them now. Xbox OS, Windows integration. And then basically this is the precursor to what they're trying to do, right? So if they nail this is big. But I'm actually surprised, that they Asus is feeling good about it, saying, kind of thing. And they were one of the pioneers in the space. I've had every version of the Ally, and I will say, this is the best one, but we still got ways to go. Still got things to do. And I'm just going to support it because I want them to improve in that space.
Well, you brought it up, so let me move the topic ahead a little bit here.
Sure.
Xbox did release their game publishing documentation to the public, and I thought this is a really great move here. So a lot of people were like, what about your ID at Xbox program, which is like blocking developers from releasing their games? And so there's obviously that angle to consider. But if you go to Microsoft's own website, they have literally everything you need to know to ship a game. SKU planning, configuring pre-orders, post-sale, monetization, the certification guide, everything. Setting your price, shipping the game, certifying it, publishing it. It's all here. And I think I have yet to dive into all of the material, to be honest, because to be frank, we're not there yet with our own game. So I don't want to put my head in a place it's not ready to be yet. But I thought it was really awesome to see this. And I wish more did it, because what I've advocated for a lot of times in the past, and you've talked about it as well, is pulling back the curtains. I get there's secrets to the industry that even you and I don't know. But I feel like it has harmed us so much by continuing to be cagey, and people get angry over things that maybe they'd understand more if they knew. Now, I don't think your average consumer is going to crack open this and go through every single hyperlink here, but it is available. And there is information that can be spread around. And I think that's a great thing. Accessibility testing is even in here as well. There's everything. The age ratings, Xbox services and how you configure them, things that you never consider. You just see how many steps there are to shipping a game. It's monumental. It's why people go to publishers, because there's so many boxes to check, and why the publishers try to take a big cut, because it's a pain in the ass. So I recommend people, again, give it a look over. Just look up Microsoft game publishing documentation and it'll come up for you. It's a really interesting read from what I've seen thus far. But Cog, have you had a chance to check any of this out?
Yeah, a little bit. And I love it. I love it. This is a major step for them, especially as they transition to becoming, the biggest publisher. The problem I felt with them is always been a lot of this stuff has kind of been under NDA, right? So it's just people want to know, how do I get on the platform? What do we do to officially take advantage of things? This is a huge step in that direction. Again, especially for me, who loves Xbox Play Anywhere and all these other little features that they have. And obviously, accessibility, I've always felt they've punched above their weight and stuff like that. You got to get this information to people, you know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping that this solves what I consider their final Achilles heel, which was they've done good with Japanese publishers. They've done good with stuff not missing the platform, but we'd always have the smaller game, like this little game that kind of misses. And you go, hey, why does that, happen? Now, granted, it usually gets fixed like a year later after public outcry and stuff like that. Yeah. But these are the things that I'm hoping kind of resolves those gaps. So this is big for them, especially when you're trying to be the biggest publisher. You need to break down the walls, let people in, see what is required, and make it easy to publish on your platform. Like you just have to. So I love this kind of stuff, and I'm hoping, like I said, I'm pro developer, so I'm just hoping this helps developers. That's really
it should. I mean, I can speak from experience that the ID at Xbox team, they're very nice people.
Yeah,
they're terrible at responding. They take forever to get back to you, and so it's one of those things where, like, if you have to depend on them less, it's a great thing. I had to be honest. Again, very nice people there, very supportive, very kind, very attentive, especially. But bad repliers.
We've heard this feedback.
And so if you need them for things like shipping a game or getting information like that, having it publicly available is extremely useful. So
you nailed it. We've heard this feedback from specific developers. Remember, I forgot what developer it was, and they were like, "Hey, we had this problem." And they trying to email, and they're like, "Hey, we haven't got anything." Like that should never happen.
Oh, and Notria had that last year as well.
Yes,
there's a lot of examples. Unfortunately,
a lot of examples. So 100% agree.
All right, Cog, let's talk about AI. The BlackRock collects another W. They're I'm not saying they're perfect. There's a lot. I have some issues with, and maybe I don't love their games as much as I did growing up, but man, they're so over fucking hated for this reason alone. You ship 3 games in a year. I think you'd look at them and be like, they got to be using artificial intelligence somewhere. No. In an interview with GameFile, various Obsidian developers spoke about an old talking point from Leonard Boyarsky, who in 2019 said that they could technically use this AI technology within their writing process. But the studio has confirmed they haven't used AI at all. This specifically came from Josh Sawyer saying it's not something we've used at present. And given it is such a hot button topic, but also you're under Microsoft, and also you happen to ship 3 games in a year plus a turn-based mode for Pillars, some way, somehow, I thought, the robot would creep into the process here. I'm very impressed, though. I'm very impressed here, especially because Obsidian's talked about like cost cutting, and we budget our games to an area where we expect it's like impossible to fail. And we budget them around our worst case scenario. I think it's very wise to do that. So to see them doing all this and AI is not involved at all, I think is admirable in today's day and age. So Cog, I'm curious what you think about the BlackRock abstaining.
Yeah. This is positive news. I didn't expect this, to be honest. I'm a little bit more cynical in the sense that, like, I expect more corporate pressure on a lot of these game devs, especially underneath certain banners and publishers, to utilize this type of stuff more. And, it's refreshing to see Obsidian, especially, they got, world-class talent, obviously Josh Sawyer, we've interviewed him in the realm of the Dukes. That man, you can tell how intelligent that man is when he talks about video games and game writing and stuff like that. So it is surprising and refreshing to see them say, no, we haven't had any need to utilize it and stuff like that. I will caution the gaming community, get ready, because these are going to be exceptions. And I'm cautioning people that I know people hate it. I'm not condoning it. I'm not in the condoning of taking people's jobs and talent jobs, but you're going to have your favorite game and you're going to find out they did blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And what I tend to see is when something is popping, people tend to less care. So I'm just saying, like, this is admirable, this is cool, but we're in an area where stakeholders are going to be trying to proliferate this and push this down the pipeline. Now, I'm hoping there's more Obsidians. I'm hoping there's more people that say, hey, nah, we good. We don't really need this. Yeah. We want to keep what we're doing, this purity, what we're doing. And we can speak for Outer Worlds. Like, bro, like, I felt the writing, the dialogue, laugh out loud, amazing stuff, faction stuff, amazing stuff, and I'll get into it. But yeah, salute to them. Salute to them as saying, hey, we don't find the need for it. You hope more can hold the fort down.
Yeah, it's more that, to me, I don't mind if these developers use it. It's a tool. Use it as a tool. Obsidian is now walking proof that you can ship this many games and not need it. And that it goes back to what I've talked about 1,000,001 times, that it's a systemic issue, that these companies can't ship games, and that it's a process problem, not a throw AI in there, replace humans, and it'll become quicker. Treat it like a power tool, and I'm sure Obsidian will launch 4 games in a year at some point, So just interesting insight. And that's because this next story, Cog, Activision got caught with their pants down. They responded to accusations about AI-generated assets in the calling cards that you would find on your banner within the game itself. They said, quote, like so many around the world, we use a variety of digital tools, including AI tools, to empower and support our teams to create the best gaming experience possible for our players. Our creative process continues to be led by the talented individuals at our studios. This has happened in the past, where COD's been caught with AI stuff, but it's happened again. It's very blatant. Tacking on top of this, Black Ops 7 is a bit of a controversial game. A lot of people have been leaning into these sales figures, and while it's a good piece to look at, I don't think it paints the whole picture. Black Ops 7 UK sales are down 61% compared to Black Ops 6, which no matter how you draw it up, not great to see. Meanwhile, Eurogamer has a great write-up saying Black Ops 7 underperforms on Steam during launch weekend, but does that mean the game sold badly? So I want to read this one out here. This question stems from our one source in particular, the Steam DB listing for Call of Duty Black Ops 7. The game is currently ranked 6th in top global sellers, which should reassure some fans. However, the game has only reached a concurrent player count of above 100K. This sounds impressive. It is a huge amount of people to be playing a game at once on one platform, but comparing Black Ops 7 to previous releases paints an altogether different picture. Back in 2024, when Black Ops 6 came out, the game saw around a peak of 315,000 on Steam. Earlier, still in 2022, when Modern Warfare 3 released, it saw a peak on Steam of 491,000 players. There's been a clear drop in players then. This returns us to the question, is Black Ops 7 underperforming? While specific figures on other platforms aren't nearly as public as Steam, we can see that a different story is elsewhere. We can't sort the games on storefronts by concurrence, but we can see recent sales. For example, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is the second top-selling game on the PlayStation Store as of writing. The Xbox Store ranks Black Ops 7 as the top most relevant, which indicates to some degree high interest from Xbox owners. It's also worth noting that other PC storefronts do exist, even if Steam is the most popular among them. Call of Duty has been available on Battle.net Launcher for a few years now, and there's now the Microsoft Game Store too, though this store ranks Black Ops 7 as 15th in its top paid category. The game is also available on console and PC Game Pass, which very well may impact where it lands in the terms of direct sales. Modern Warfare 3, which was previously highlighted as a peak for recent Call of Duty releases on Steam, did not launch day one on Game Pass. Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 did, which could very well have impacted these figures. The truth is obviously unclear as of right now, and we can only judge by Steam figures. However, Steam is the biggest PC platform, and it's not like Steam users are aliens with totally different wants than console player base there. So a really great write-up by Eurogamer. Shout out to them. But it definitely paints a really clear picture of, like, you can see the decline and sort of what's happened with Game Pass being thrown in the mix. I think the takeaway here, I mean, I'll talk about it in the what we're playing section. This game is fucking awful, bro. Ooh. And I look, I know I went hard on MW3, but like I sincerely think this might be worse.
Damn.
But and we'll talk. We'll talk. Yeah. But like, dude, I do think, like, it's not like, oh, they're losing money. It's not like, oh my God, it's not going to be the number one selling game in the world. But I do think people are waking up a little bit. And I do think with how much content is there and Battlefield 6 launching this year, you can start to feel a little bit of a shift is a strong word, but I feel the Titans are rumbling a little bit now. You know, there's a battle going on. It's not going to be earned as easily as it was before. I think Call of Duty will still be dominant, but I think they've got to do better. And I think it's different from the we're too big to fail that they said earlier this year. I think very quickly that caught up to them, where it's like, Call of Duty should always be dominant. It's expected to be dominant. It needs to be dominant, especially if you're Microsoft. You raised the price of Game Pass for this fucking piece of shit game. So it's like,
Jesus.
It's got to kick ass. And when it doesn't, and you're seeing kind of numbers fluctuate, and it's like a 300K drop off. We talked about, again, remember those numbers we saw for Black Ops 6 last year of, the millions of sales they lost because of Game Pass. So Call of Duty is hurting. And the difference in this conversation is, as we get into each new Call of Duty since MW3, it is more and more shepherded by Microsoft than before, right? When MW3 came around and we were all shitting on it, it was sort of like to be fair, this was Activision. And it's true.
Right.
Black Ops 6, same situation. It was a great COD, but it was like, to be fair, it was Activision. But now we're 2 years in, 3 years in, and it's like, well, now it's Activision. Eventually, it's going to be Xbox and Activision. And we're there next year based on how these development cycles go. So I'm not blaming Xbox fully for this, but they are stewards of the franchise. And this shit is unacceptably bad. But I'm curious what your read of the numbers are, Cog. Is the sky falling in the world of Call of Duty?
It's eyebrow raising. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'm not sky falling yet, but this is the chink in the armor because obviously you've got...
That's huge coming from you. I kind of thought you were going to come and say, no, interesting.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to not acknowledge what's going on. Like, dudes is outside. They rumbling. Battlefield is outside. Like, Arc Raiders is outside. I'm looking at top paid right now. Arc Raiders is number 1 on the Xbox platform, right?
Wow.
Battlefield is number 2. Top paid games, right? These are the 2. Call of Duty, what is that? 8. So 7, excuse me. So my thing is this. Now, I get it on the Xbox platform because Game Pass exists. It will cannibalize sales there. I get it that Steam is not representative of, all platforms, but it's a good indicator as far, especially when you compare it to last year, right?
It tells trends. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this is what I get from before. A person who has not played the game, in fairness, you have, I get that this year's is not a good game. That's the vibe I'm getting. I've spoken to a couple of people and they're like, not this year. Shout out to my man Cactus HD, who's a Destiny content creator. I saw a clip and it looked like they were fighting a Destiny raid boss. I was like, what is that Call of Duty? I was like, and even he said it. He was like, yo, I feel like I'm fighting a Destiny raid boss. I was like, all right, that's a little weird. So I'm like, all right, cool. So that's the vibe. Now I will push back. Black Ops 6 was still, in my opinion, with Xbox under them and it debuted them. So I'm not going to sit there and say like, okay, now they're just doing of it and this is complete all them. And I'm not there yet. But look, I'm not going to sit there and not acknowledge that this is serious for them to be dealing with this. And especially with Battlefield now saying, hey, we're going to battle you on the Warzone front when we're doing our red sack. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are there. So I never anticipated Battlefield to knock out the champ. I don't feel we're there, but we see chinks in the armor where, we're coming. So this is serious for them. So yeah. And also it spells the yearly development cycle, right? Mm. It's very difficult, man. It just is. So
sweatshop.
Yeah. Who's the one this year? It's not Treyarch this year. Who's this year?
Treyarch and Treyarch and Raven again
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So look, I will say this. This is where competition is good. They've also been married, Call of Duty, to past gen, from my understanding, right? They're still on past gen and trying to get all the sales. I am very curious about next year, how they handle that, also switch to that whole kind of thing. So yeah, they got their work to cut out for them. This is, to me, I look at this as a quality drop, and I look at this as, the Steam, even though it doesn't represent everything, that's not a trend you want to be mirroring. So I'm looking out on this one. Like, I'm not taking this as like, oh yeah, this is a nothing burger. No, this is something to pay attention to. Eyebrows are up.
All right. Cog's eyebrows are up. Mm-hmm. Y'all better be paying attention. I'm paying attention to Fallout 4.
Let's go. What's going on?
Bethesda responded. Quite the change. They usually stay quiet during these types of things, which is annoying, but I'm glad that they're finally waking up a little bit here. They dropped a hot fix, which resolved an issue preventing users from enabling creations that relied on DLC. They improved the stability of the creation menu. So now if you actually go in there, it'll load. And they identified an issue causing DLC to become uninstalled on PlayStation. For players still experiencing this issue, they say they recommend that you enable any of your creations after your DLC is completely installed. They said they're continuing to collect everyone's feedback. And so that's what's dropping now. The next patch is for November 24th, and that is going to expand the storage size of creations to 100 gigabytes. And then in the first week of December, there will be another hotfix. So Bethesda has deployed a patch roadmap for the 2015 Fallout 4 video game. And if that doesn't say something to you, I don't know what does, man. It's definitely a sad state. I'm glad they're doing something. I'm definitely not going to be that guy who's like, well, fuck you guys for this too. But it's like, oh, now they're dedicating resources to it. Like, what if this was really just like a big success? And could they have like been like, oh, we're going to give you not like a DLC, but like do some quality life updates or a little bit more? Makes you wonder. But I'm glad at least they're not ignoring it like they did last year. This whole Fallout 4 next gen thing has been a weird shit show. Like they announced it in 2022, dropped it in 2024. That's a really long gap. Yeah. Everyone thought like, oh, they're cooking. They burnt the meal, ditched it for 18 months, came back, broke it again. Like, bro, Jesus. It's crazy. So I'm just glad they're trying to get on it. I have yet to test this. I was going to wait until the first patch because this is a hot fix what they did, what I'm talking about now. But they're doing their first patch on the 24th, which is also kind of crazy. But as I said before, and I won't get too ranty about it, this whole update was not about people like me. It's about the show viewers. Not just because, money, but like you look at where the patch roadmap ends. Right. There's like in the first half of December is when it's fixed. The show comes out December 17th.
December 17th, yeah.
So they're making sure it's ready. They beta tested us. They're making sure it's ready for, the real players.
Yeah, get it out there. Get it out.
So when Average Joe shows up after season 2 and he sees $60 Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, he's like, oh, well, they just dropped a brand new version of this. Great. I'm going to get that one. Bang. And yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. Nothing really else to be said on my end. Cog, anything you'd like to add on when it comes to Bethesda addressing Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition?
I like this as a statement. There's not ignoring. That's a good start. Yeah. Acknowledgement is always good. We like acknowledgement. I'm just exasperated, bro. I guess for me, it's just like, I'm just tired of them having this reputation. I'm just tired of it. Like, it's just like, what do we got to do? I'm all about resolution. Like, what do we got to do from a QA standpoint to get you guys where you need to be? Like, what resources do we need to put in place so that things are thoroughly tested? And I'm not saying every game's going to be bug free. I'm being realistic, but it's to the point where just like, why does this only happen to you? Yeah. So to me, that's a process. And this is a systemic issue that they've gone for a long time. Yeah. And I'm just like, come on, guys. Like, no one likes talking bad about them. We love their games, right? So it's just like, but why does this always happen to you? What is the process? And that's deep, man. That's top level. And again, this has been a systemic thing prior to acquisition. This has always been a problem. So you would think, okay, post acquisition, clean it up. Hey, these are the gaps that we have. Microsoft comes, hey, what can we do to help you guys? Like, these are the conversations I'm hoping to happen, because this is just unacceptable for, people who love this game. And again, who are going to be introduced to this franchise now, because of this popular series, and you're having these issues. And it's just not fair to the base who's been there from the beginning to have to suffer through all this. So yeah, well, on one hand, I like the acknowledgement. On the other hand, I just don't want to keep going through, especially the one that bothered me the most was the Oblivion remake issues. And I'm just like, okay, I'll give you a week or two. And it's just like people still telling me some things still not correct there. And
first patch was in June. 2 months after.
Yeah. That game dropped in like April. That game came around the same time Expedition came out. Like, what are we doing? Like, why does it take that long? Like, bro, like, what's up, yo? Do we need to put up the job postings for the QA? Like, what we need to do? Yeah. What we need to do, man? Like, we can't have this. Yeah, I love you guys, but you got to fix this. This is just, it's not acceptable. I can't.
I agree. I mean, I think Oblivion showed that people like the Bethesda jank a little bit. Like, it's, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be like, not breaking your own game. Like like you can't have I call it the touch of death. That you can't be the one who, when you show up and you put your hands on it, that this shit comes out worse. Like you made Fallout 4 and you came in and touched it 9 years later, last year, and killed the thing.
Yeah.
And then killed it again when you try to fix it. Like that shows ineptitude. And the thing I just worry about for them is Elder Scrolls 6. Not because I think Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be whack,
right.
But it casts a level of doubt of like, can you keep track of all this stuff going on around you? Shattered Space is received terribly. Your takeaway from that's like, oh, well, if we put the buggy in and didn't do the free update, I'm like, that's bad takeaway. Fallout 4, 18 months of silence. Like, you're showing me you only care to come around when you want to sell me something. And as much as I love what Bethesda does with that short window of like, you see it and you get it,
right?
It's starting to look less like we're thinking of you and they're thinking of themselves. Because when you have takeaways like the buggy takeaway,
right,
it shows to me you're looking at hype to override systemic issues with the quality of your stuff. Right. And as a fan of your stuff, I don't think you need to do that, because you should be able to make great enough stuff that doesn't warrant that. So I'm with you, dude. It's like, this can't keep happening to them. And especially because now, like, the roadblocks are out of the way. It's been a long 7 years of like 76 first, then Starfield, then it's support, then Elder Scrolls 6. We're finally there where next thing we see from them, you know, barring a Fallout 3 remaster, of course, is Elder Scrolls 6. Like, okay, if there's any time to get your kitchen in order, it is right now, because the reality is this is the game we were all waiting for. As much as like 76 went on this journey and it's come out strong and Starfield was all right, like these were barriers that ultimately did not, I think, deliver on such a level, even at their best, where I went like, yeah, you waiting all this time for Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, like we were, and it's again started to cast doubt on them.
Yeah,
they should be not panicked, because Elder Scrolls 6 will do its thing. If Oblivion Remaster is anything to go by, it will do just fine. But I think from a quality sense, I just, you know, they got to be more on top of it. It's unacceptable.
Last thing I'll say, it's too many valleys, because the last W I will give them, again, from a stability standpoint, I will say Starfield base from a stability standpoint was the most, we had Gino, he was like, that's the least buggiest Bethesda game we've ever had. We're like, oh my God. So we're like, okay, maybe that's it. But then you get the Fallout and you're like, what's going on? Like, so again, obviously we talked ad nauseum about 76 and what happened there. So it's just like, I think it's valid to say, to be concerned with their next biggest project being Elder Scrolls 6, that you can't land the plane without some form of landmines and issues that prevent the player experience from being enjoyable. I think that's fair to be highly concerned when you literally have a Fallout 4. This is literally a layup that you made it, and you touch it and you break your own layup. Like, how are you missing this? Like that, it doesn't make sense to me. So again, systemic process, Microsoft, help. That, to me, this is a cry for help. Like, why is this only happening to you? We don't see this with Obsidian. We don't see this with really nobody else in the family. Why? You know what I mean? This is something that they've, said, been dealing with in their house for a while.
I think I imagine Microsoft looks at Bethesda's operation and is more than happy with it, just because Bethesda is such a small team compared to other AAA developers, like 400 or 500 people, which is a lot. Yeah. They're spread across Starfield, its support, Fallout, its support, 76, Elder Scrolls 6. Like, there's probably like 200 people working on Elder Scrolls 6, which really isn't a lot for a game like that. Like, that whole team should be on ES6. But I'm sure Microsoft looks at it and goes like, wow, you run a really cheap operation and you have IP like Elder Scrolls that you do a remaster of, and it's a top 10 selling game of the year. You know, so I'm sure they look at it like, you're fine. The QA doesn't.
And that's a good point. I didn't think about it like that. You're right. I didn't realize the smaller footprint in conjunction with how big the IP sell. So we'll deal with that later. But that's
it's a Pokemon thing, bro. Like, run it low and gain high. The thing that I think ails Bethesda right now, as in their fan base, is I recognize this with myself, right? Like they've had a good excuse for everything since Fallout 4. So Fallout 4 was like experimental. Like here's this voice protagonist. We're going to try a settlement building mode. We're like, all right, like some of this is cool. Some of this is interesting. I don't want to see this in future games like the voice protagonist. I don't want to build things in every game moving forward. Obviously, they didn't listen to that part, but it's like, okay, it was experimental. Here comes 76. We know how 76 goes at launch. We're like, all right. So you guys aren't known to make online games. Creation Engine isn't built to support that. Like this, we'll forget about it. Here comes Starfield. It's like, okay, this is Bethesda proper, single player role playing game, but it's not Elder Scrolls and it's not Fallout. So it's going to be a little different. And it's too different. Now you've gotten away from all of the sensibilities that made those other two franchises great. So now Shattered Space is really the backbreaker because it's like, all right, they changed the formula a little too much. They just need to go back to what they do best. So here comes Shattered Space, like one planet, tons of locations, handcrafted, the favorite H word in the Bethesda lore, handcrafted. It's focused on Andreja, like this whole story, like the Great Serpent. It's all there for you. Take it all in. And it's one of the worst things they ever did, you know, and I don't say that lightly. And so you look at that and you're like, to me, that was the end of the line because it was like, there is no, you know, oh, it's this or oh, it's like you went back to what you know to do best. And it was terrible. Right. What does that tell me about a game that I am anticipating in Elder Scrolls 6 that is built entirely around the idea of I'm hoping it's the focus of like what you specialize in, like one big open world map, not stars and ships and space and procedural, you know. But I always say this to end on a positive note, and then I want to hear your thoughts.
Talk to me.
I think Todd's one sentence away from catching our ears. Everything you see here is in one open world map with no procedural content from locations to loot. What did he just say?
Oh, yeah.
And it's the same thing, because I say this because what Starfield did so well was, yeah, your protagonist isn't voiced. We wanted to go deeper into role-playing systems, and they showed the character creator. They showed the traits, the backgrounds, and suddenly I went, wait, what? This is more hardcore than what they're... Okay. And that's all she wrote. You know, that kind of got my ear. So I try to say that to people to warn them. They take it as like fanboyism, like, oh, you just want to be hype, bro. And I'm like, no, I'm saying it because I know everyone so well. We all have the same feeling of like, he says that one thing that you're like, that was my biggest problem with the last game. Yeah. And you're telling me that's not a thing anymore.
Oh, yeah.
That's my closing thoughts as a little bit of positivity. Your thoughts, Cog.
Yeah, 100% agree. We need that. We need where I feel Obsidian is lapped. We need the unique handcrafted loot and rewards from Quest and stuff like that. We need that. And then where Shattered Space, I think, really disappointed me more than anything else was when at the end, and I was just like, man, this did not feel impactful. And I was just like, it was a choice. I'll never forget. It was
I started to smile because I always forget about it till you bring it up.
Bro, it was the most disrespectful thing a video game ever did to me in choice. And it was like, you got the choice. You're like, yeah, I want to do that. No, be real. For real. What do you really want to do? Because you ain't going to do that. And I'm like, what? Like, I just finished playing Outer Worlds where I could do that. And I could be like, nah, to the wolves with you. You know what I'm saying? And the game was like, yes, you can do it. Go ahead. Knock yourself out and see what happens. Yeah. I was like, really? Like, when did Bethesda do this? And I was just like, wow. That's when I put the control down.
I always forget.
I couldn't even defend y'all on that one.
I always forget about that. That was so funny. Because you and I picked that one, and then when you told me you picked that as well, I was like, oh no. Like we both experienced that same moment of like, nah, for real though. Like, I've never had an RPG straight up do that to you. Like, not really though. Like,
really though.
Because I think she said something like, "Be real." What do you actually want to do? And I'm like, I am being real.
I'm real right now. This is what I want to do.
You know?
I was like, Shattered Space, you got to come to the front of the congregation. You could never, ever do that in a role playing game. Yeah. Like, I couldn't believe it. So that's where I'm at. So like I said, it ended in a positive note. Like I said, open world. We're going back to our sensibilities. To, like I said, the unique stuff, factor. Impactful choices and stuff, all the stuff that makes us who we are, you know, because again, the greatest part about Elder Scrolls is like, yo, what's what's that over in the distance?
Yeah.
All right, let me go. You know what I'm saying? That sense of exploration and biome diversity and things of that nature. So look, if any game is going to do it, it's that game, right? But back to the main point. You have to clean up your house. Yeah. You have to get your affairs in order from a technical standpoint. And I'm hoping that this is because all hands are on deck, all 200, 300 people on this project. And that's why, again, it doesn't excuse it, because I want Microsoft to come in there and help clean this up for them, because this is really, it's not acceptable. It's just not. For a studio that has this kind of reputation, we do expect better from them on that.
I agree. Well said. Let's talk about another former Bethesda studio in Tango Gameworks. It's been confirmed that Krafton is now the publisher of Hi-Fi Rush, and that updates will start to roll out progressively for the game. So there's more on the way for Hi-Fi Rush 1. I don't know if this is in replacement of 2 or whatever, but they are going to start supporting the game again, which I thought was very exciting. There's a catch, though. In my research of this topic, I learned something about Krafton.
What's up?
They are pumping money into becoming, quote, an AI first company.
Oh, okay.
And that's a little scary to read, because when they bought, Tango Gameworks, I went, okay, like, awesome, my hero. And then I read this and I'm like, oh man, like, creatively spirited Hi-Fi Rush, AI first company. These two just don't seem to really get along well. And when you're an AI first company, that reads to me like, if you are owned by us, you will be using these tools. And so while the entirety of the Tango Gameworks team was retained, I worry about what this means for who gets laid off. I obviously worry about the creatives who don't want to use this and what it means for their integrity, and if they move on, if that ever gets that far, I don't know, but it's a very bold statement. So I'm just curious what you think about this, because it's like, yay, Hi-Fi Rush, Krafton. So your thoughts?
Yeah, sometimes it's like, who the bedfellows you're in. Like we love the fact that they were saved, right? I'll never forget. It really made me emotional to see John Johannes's tweet when the news first came out that, they were getting shut down.
Yeah.
And the internet we were in tears. We were hurt. We were like, this was the jewel, baby. Like, not this studio. They didn't deserve that. And then obviously, we did hear behind the scenes, again, I got to give Microsoft some credit, gave them a home, and we get to Krafton. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, just recently, I don't know if you saw, we were freaking out again because we saw the songs delisted. And I'm like, no, what's going on? But then Common had been fair. They were like, nope. John came out. He said, hey, guys, that's just publisher transfer stuff. Yeah. The stuff will come back up. Don't worry. We're good. I'm like, okay, cool. Whew, all right. So now you with Krafton. And yeah, I admit I didn't know this. I didn't know that they are the AI epicenter. They want to do this. I wonder how John Johannes feels about this.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, this is an extremely creative person. This is a person who pitched this idea of Hi-Fi Rush and got people to sign on. It's completely unique from a horror kind of studio, right? Yeah. To do this kind of thing. So, yeah, it's eyebrow raising. We need to, see how much of an influence it has over a game like Hi-Fi Rush, which to me screams originality. It screams creative. Like, that game has the backgrounds going to the beat, the tempos, like, everything screams handcraft, original thought.
Yeah.
So you do have to pay attention. And I'm glad you brought this to my attention. I did not know this.
Yeah.
And you just hope the AI overlords don't get too crazy with this particular franchise.
It really balances the scales, is what I would say.
100%.
All right, Cog. Let's hear from Sarah Bond. Sarah Bond had some new comments in a recent interview, and let's go over some of them. She spoke on hardware. Quote, hardware is absolutely core to everything we do at Xbox because we know that our most valuable players, the people who love Xbox, love the hardware experience. And so that is why we're working on our next generation hardware. It's going to be a powerful experience and one that people take their library with them. We know that while people want to play their library absolutely on console, they also want to be able to play it on PC or stream it around the cloud. And so the Xbox experience starts with the console, but then gives something that the people can experience across all screens if they choose to, bringing their library, their community, their identity, and the store with them everywhere they go. Meanwhile, she spoke on fan feedback, like, hey, doing a lot of changes. What's going on here? Here's what the host said, quote, "You're leading this legacy brand that's currently redefining itself. When you're steering a ship from a decades-long console identity, which is what Xbox has long been known for, towards this service-first model that you've talked about today, what have you learned about leading through cultural change, through organizational change, and even perhaps resistance that comes along with it because it's new and it's different?" And Sarah said, quote, "Xbox is a brand that people have counted on now for almost 25 years, and people who play Xbox love Xbox. Our players deeply care about what Xbox is. It has a ton of meaning for them, and so changing it is hard, right? When you know that there are things that are coming in the future that you need to invest in that help ensure the long-term health and the growth of the brand, but you also know that there are players who really love what it is right now." End quote. I wanted to throw this in here just in case people wanted to hear it. I have very little thoughts overall on what she has to say. So I'd love to open the stage for you, Cog, if there's anything you thought about in Sarah Bond's recent statements.
I mean, this is kind of nothing burger stuff. This is stuff kind of like we already know, but I do like the fact that, she acknowledged how, what they're doing as a brand is a significant change. My concern with the brand is, as a person who loves this ecosystem, obviously my birthday was, this weekend that passed, and it's the same birthday as Xbox. So I have a deep synergy with the product. I could feel how the core base could feel disrespected. Oh, yeah. I could feel how I can empathize with people who are struggling with this form of a change, especially how aggressive they've been with it, right?
Yeah.
And some people feel, hey, we've been your day one supporters, and there's a level of decorum that we don't feel we've been afforded, right? I think it's fair to call that out. I think that, I like the fact that she acknowledged it. I don't disagree with the fact that, they're redefining. Look, corporations like this, they're not thinking about right now. They're thinking about, okay, 10 years down the road, how are we going to exist? How is this going to work? What's the climate of gaming in 10 years? And what we're doing right now, does this coincide with that? I get that, right? To me, it's always just about and we've always said this ad nauseum, your messaging, right? And we have enough examples where you said one thing, you did something else. So it's going to be, and I use Attic as my perfect example. It's this level of distrust right now. This is cool. I love that you're saying hardware, console experience. I get to take whatever I is. Take my current Xbox ecosystem into this new future where you may have the full Xbox experience and a PC if I choose to. Yeah. Great. It sounds amazing. Until we see it, until you have it in front of me, unfortunately, you've created a climate of distrust where we don't believe you until it's in our hand because of all the conflicting messaging. And it's going to come off as puppets of Satya, the eye of Satya. So this is cool. I love that you're getting out in front and saying it. Hardware, console, Xbox, great. Until 2027 happens, whatever this year is, until we get the box in our hand, until we boot it up and Maddie sees his Xbox library there. It's not a ROG Ally X situation where you're talking about streaming. No, until we see it, sadly, you've created a climate where we don't believe you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's the hardest challenge for them. And I feel for them on current leadership in the respect that you're not calling the shots. You know what I'm saying? It's clear as day. It's Microsoft Gaming, baby. And that's going to be the uphill battle for them. So I will say this in a positive note. I like that I keep hearing console, hardware, console. I do like that. Sure. For a guy who loves this brand more than anything, Sega's number one, though. Sega to the death. But you guys are my refugee home. This is where I the shelter that I park my tent. And I said, all right, this looks familiar. I could live here. This is cool. You know what I'm saying? All right, Shenmue. Okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things and sensibilities. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That we just want a console and let me take my digital library, all these things I purchased with me. That's all. So we'll see. So I'm pulling for them, but unfortunately, you've broken a lot of hearts along the way, and people just there's apathy, there's distrust. It just is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about PlayStation. I thought this was an interesting report here, Cog. It comes from Twisted Voxels, covering a report from Japanese media outlet TV Tokyo. And it's about how PlayStation was indifferent to the market shrinking in Japan under prior leadership, which obviously we saw with State of Play Japan, which we talked about last week, that they're trying to get on top of it. They say a report from Japanese media outlet TV Tokyo has shed light on the internal dynamics behind Sony Interactive Entertainment's decision to release a new Japan exclusive PS5 model. According to the report, prior leadership within the company had developed the sentiment that it is acceptable if PlayStation's market in Japan continues to shrink. The revelation comes amid a major shift in Sony Interactive Entertainment's console strategy in the country. While global PlayStation sales have expanded, Japan has gradually become a weaker region for the brand, losing ground to Nintendo. This decline was reportedly met with indifference from prior executives who are more focused on strong overseas performance. TV Tokyo's report explains that the newly announced Japan-only PS5 launching November 21st, 2025 for 55,000 yen, an 18,000 yen price cut, emerged from a new desire from Sony Interactive Entertainment to reestablish footing in its home market. This new model is a Japanese language only, with its distribution strictly limited to Japan. The aggressive price cut suggests that the console is possibly being sold at a substantial loss. The shift in approach reportedly began when Sony Interactive Entertainment executives discovered that Nintendo was preparing a Japan-exclusive version of the Switch 2. Inspired by this strategy, Sony leadership quickly approved of its own Japan-focused PS5 model in just 4 months. A key driving force behind this reversal in the company is the company's new president, Hideaki Nishino, who, according to TV Tokyo, views the ongoing decline of PlayStation's domestic presence as a major crisis. He and the Japan-based team share a sense of urgency that is pushing for Japan-focused measures. The report also highlights an interesting angle from the Chinese market because the local PS5 model is subject to strict content regulations and has a limited library. Unrestricted Japanese PS5 units are being resold at a high premium in China. By producing a Japan-only edition, Sony aims to counter this trend and revert focus on local consumers. I love this news because, as we've talked about before, we think weird Japan-focused PlayStation is good. And if they're not trying to appeal to us, oh boy, no more running back the sequels. Figure it out. You're not doing a third Horizon. You're not doing a third God of War. You're not doing any of that shit again. You're giving us new weird stuff. I love Japan-focused PlayStation. But Cog, take your lap. You've been saying for a while, you were like, hey man, they've gotten away from themselves. Jim Ryan's a Euro boy. And so I'm curious, Cog, how you're feeling reading this news.
You stupid. 100% agree. This is music to my ears. And I know, LSM fans sometimes get mad with me. I just didn't relate to PlayStation 5. I just don't. It was foreign to me. I remember when Jim Ryan would come out there, it was like, we have to have blockbusters and our game should be bigger and, all this stuff. And I'm like, that's cool. I get it. And I respect the transmedia push. But when you pumping 6 versions of a game that I've already had already, I was just like, man, this is just very, it's that, that very lack of the soul, of who I know them to be. Like, people don't understand. Like, I love PlayStation. Like, that was PlayStation 1. Yeah. I betrayed the hell out of Sega. I was like, get out of here. Like, this is what it is. I said that Battle Ridden Tekken, Jumping Flash, I had that console and I was in love with it. PlayStation 1 is near and dear to me. I was like, they're aggressive. They're doing something weird, something new in the space. Remember when Final Fantasy VII came out for that bad? Oh my God. Yeah. Like, bro, PlayStation 1 was special. And what I feel is, as it got more popular and obviously, it expanded, and I get it, they dominated Europe. They took Europe away from Xbox. That was a big deal. I will give Jim Ryan that. But I think what happened is they got too gassed up. And I never forget it. It was 1 year around, I think PS4 or PS5 launch, and they said, PS5, and they said, hey, we're changing the Japanese console between the cross and the circle button. That is an extremely Japanese thing. Yeah. That is a sensibility. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, that's culture. So now when I see, shout out to my man, Hiroki Totoki, that's the man right there. I'll just get back to sensibilities. When I see this, this is a seriously got to put our flag back down, reestablish ourselves, because I'm telling you right now, Maddie, when I went over to Japan, let me explain something. People laughing at Xbox. PlayStation don't have no presence over there like that either. Outside of the Ghost of Yotai booth and maybe Yodobashi camera and a couple other spots, Nintendo is running things. It's not even close. If I put a percentage, it's like 90 and maybe they got 10 or 9% and Xbox got the 1%. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's not. I'm like, bro, this is a Japanese company. How are you getting run out of your own country? That's unacceptable. So look, if you can't beat them, join them. Make a Japanese-focused region console, show the sensibilities. I love this state of play where you brought the couches out. You brought Japanese people out there talking about, you're reestablishing who you are. And you're showing that, hey, we're not going to do all the hashtag just one stuff. We're going to do this cool, quirky stuff and get to our region and try to reestablish that. Because all it takes is one or two of these things to hit. And then you've got these games that are more cost effective, that have more regional ideas that could take. I love it. Get back to this, bro. Yeah. And I know this is we're having a civil war PlayStation. I get it. PS4 guys, you don't like this. I'm telling you right, if you want to succeed.
Camera over that shoulder right fucking now is what they're saying. Put it right behind them, right now. I'm not interested if it's not there.
I'm with you. And last thing, the damage that Ryan did with the 10 live service games.
Yeah.
The Bungie acquisition, like, this is course correction. Yeah. I like this. Let's get back to what we need to do. And Nintendo has the blueprint for everybody. Like, I love that Sony is following Nintendo. You got to. You can't.
Urgency is good. And I like that PlayStation's feeling a little heat, because when we opened this gen, we were feeling like a little comfortable. You know, your $10 upgrades here or there, your remasters here or there. I don't think all of that's going to go away.
Right.
But I do think, like, Shuhei was talking in an interview, and it wasn't with Colin, but it was about Japan Studio when it got shut down. And he said it was shut down because they didn't want AA games anymore. And I think that's just like a huge, like, no, like PlayStation. I mean, that PS4 generation was so phenomenal because they covered the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
You had weird indies. I mean, the Vita hybrid indies like that you get on like Vita or PS4 or PS3, like that trio during that 2013, 2014 stretch was just like such a great time. And the PS4 obviously did well. So I know it was part of the recipe to success. But part of that was also, you know, here's God of War, here's Spider-Man, right? Like there was a balance in it all. But then here's like Concrete Genie, you know? So to me, I look at them investing in Japan and I'm like, good. Marvel Tokon is probably the best example of the compromise. Like, it appeals to dudes like us. Like, we're fighting game fans. We're from the West. Oh, Marvel, let's go. But bro, those Arc System fighters do work globally. They do work. And that is going to appeal, I think, to Japan. PlayStation's got a death grip on the fighting game community.
Oh, I love that.
This game's exclusive to PS5 and PC, I believe. Mm-hmm. Like, this is going to be a good measuring stick for them. I think it's their first step to their plan of like, how do we get more Japanese inclined gamers to check out our platform without compromising the kind of big brand feel that we have? And I think that's step one. And if they are going to start doing stuff like that, I'm all in. Now, I want to transition here because now PlayStation, if you want to get in touch with Japan, there's one man whose phone needs to start ringing, and that's Nier creator Yoko Taro. A lot of us have been wondering what's this man up to, right? We got that kind of remaster of the first Nier game a while ago. I don't even remember. This had to be a 2021, 2022, something like that. But it comes out and we're like, oh, dude, perfect holdover for the next Nier. It's 2025. And it has been 8 years since Nier Automata. And Nier Automata sold really, really well. I don't know if another Nier game does what that game did, but like, I mean, Nier just is a special franchise, right? So these comments come from a Korean gaming convention called G-Con 2025, which were reported on by 4Gamer and translated by Automaton, and then IGN is covering them. Taro says he's been busy with new projects, but they keep getting canceled. Quote, I often get told stuff like, why aren't you making a new sequel to Nier? Or Yoko Taro isn't doing anything. But that's because recently, a lot of projects I was involved in got discontinued midway through development. I've actually been working on stuff. It just never ended up seeing the light of day. This is the funny part. He says, I got paid for it, so I personally have no issues with that. But people seem to think that I have been doing nothing just because none of the work I've done is being released. He says he's not discouraged by this. He continued saying he'd rather fail repeatedly and eventually create something good rather than put out multiple mediocre works. Quote, I believe that if I'm going to release something weird, I'd be better off not releasing anything at all, end quote. It's so funny because this shit is always like super weird anyway.
So weird.
So not great news, but hey, PlayStation, you want to win the Japanese audience over. This man is a gateway to that. Give him a budget, let him make something fucking weird, and it'll be awesome. Cog, any thoughts on this? Have you ever played Nier?
Yeah, I played a little bit. Yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, great game. Yeah, man. Nah, like, this is cool just to see. I like to get feedback from him, like what's been going on, what's going. Your man's like, yo, I got my bags though. I got my bags.
Yeah, he was happy to get paid at least.
None of my joints came out, but I got a bag, so that's all. Let's now, hopefully, yeah, like we PlayStation, somebody can make the call and let's get him working on something new. What's it? Kami said mentioned the upcoming sequel to Come. Taro said he's been busy with new Yeah, look, we just want to hear from him, and he's one of those unique minds in the space that he's so weird that he's out there that you love to have him on a new project. And I think people be smart to kind of work with him on something. So yeah, this is good news to me that he still has the zeal to zest for something and he wants to put out something over a high quality bar. So let's pick up the phones. Let's see what's going on.
All right, Cog. Another bit of small PlayStation news here. A Ratchet & Clank game got revealed. It's called Ratchet & Clank Ranger Rumble. And this is a mobile game. It's a mobile multiplayer third-person action shooter developed by OBB in collaboration with Insomniac Games. Oh boy.
Yeah. Gotta talk about it. Gotta talk about it. Let me start with you because you're the Ratchet. Where are you at with this?
So Ratchet and I didn't leave off on a good footing. You know, I thought Rift Apart was a little overrated, personally. It's not a bad game by any means, but just like compared to the Ratchet and Clank games I grew up with, I was like, just Rivet had such potential and they just didn't make her like play or feel or act really any differently from Ratchet. So it just felt like Ratchet 2.0. But nonetheless, fun game, I guess, but like moving on quickly, I was like, can't wait for the next one. Obviously, when we see this whole roadmap leak, we know we're not getting a new proper Ratchet and Clank till like 2030, I think, or late 2020s. I forgot which year exactly it was. So when you see something like this, I mean, PlayStation also showed off that Horizon MMO.
We got to talk about it.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, the characters in that game look like so bad. You know what people like do? Like Aloy's ugly and they do this like AI remake of Aloy about like how hot she'd actually look. And I looked at that shit and I'm like, that looks fucking worse, dude. Like I'm not saying you gotta think Aloy like Colin talked about this on someone's side. Like I'm not saying you gotta think Aloy looks hot, but like some of y'all are doing these like anime recreations of Aloy that look fucking terrible. Jesus. And the Horizon game, this MMO, whatever they're doing, literally looks like all of those character models in there. Like what if we made them hot? And I'm just like, it just doesn't look right to me personally. But yeah, it's a weird one. This is I guess are these leftovers from the old regime? You know, are these part of the 10 live service games? You know, it's not in replacement of, so I get less frustrated by that. But I definitely look at it and go like, this is your plan. Like Ratchet and Clank's going to be on ice because you're focusing on Marvel. So your plan was we're going to make a mobile multiplayer title, like not a spin-off, not like an interesting like one-off by some other developer. Like I'll never wrap my head around that aspect. And I don't know if I had to get like deeper into the mud to understand it, but like when you greenlight like a recurrent mobile thing over, which no one wants, over, you know, like, oh, another single player game would definitely sell. I just want to know what the conversation is. Like, is it, well, there's more. If this pops off, then... And maybe that's it, but no positive thoughts on this one. It looks terrible.
He said no positive thoughts.
It looks terrible.
Look, I mean, I just look at I don't even look at the game itself. I just look at the moves and I'm trying to understand. And this is, again, a conversation that I've been trying to have with my PlayStation brethren, which is like, the way Sony's operating. And when you make this Ratchet Clank game that's, strictly designed for mobile. You have the Horizon MMO. And again, that's designed for mobile. This is telling me clear as day that the console base in their minds is still not enough. I have to be honest, because here's the thing. Why aren't these games on PlayStation 5? You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
It's a little weird.
You can't, I don't understand that part, because I was legit surprised. I was like, okay, you're experimenting, fine. You want to get another piece of the pie. And I keep telling people, Generation Alpha, they're looking at people and what their habits are 10, 12, 20 years down the road. And what they're seeing is, which I don't mind, is like, okay, people are on mobile, they're more console, they're not console agnostic. That's fine. But it's just like, it surprised me based on the way they move with exclusives that they wouldn't at least have the option there. Right. So when I look at that, I look at PC, look at every platform but your main console platform. Right. That's an indicator. I tell people all the time, like, I know the exclusive things, people get mad with me, but bro, when you make PlayStation LLC, that tells me something. You know what I'm saying? The signs are there. So it's not saying that exclusives don't matter. They do. But it's just like, look at how they're operating. It's clear as it reminds me of, like, you have to keep telling your boy, like, bro, I saw your girl here. I saw your girl there. They like, nah, bro, she's loyal to me. Or she's one-on-one with me, bro. And it's like, all right. You can't, after a while, I can't tell you anything. It's like, you have to see for yourself. You got to get your heart broken the hard way, because I keep telling you, I keep finding your girl acting strange and moving weird. Yeah. So it's just, this is that. And I'm not mad at it, only from the standpoint of they're what I consider future-proofing themselves, right? With how the market trend is. But what people get mad at me for pointing this stuff out. And I'm like, yo, they're moving different. That's all I'm saying. And we have to stop looking at ourselves as we are the end all be all because we like exclusives and we want the console to be the dominant factor. These are signs that they are preparing themselves just in case things do change. They have their hands in other places. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think the thing I wrestle with is like, okay, you anticipate this trend 10 years down the line. Why are you launching something like in Singapore right now? I think is where it's available. Why are you launching that now for something that might be standing a chance of relevance all those years later? Like, plan for it, I guess, but like you're shooting way early now. Yeah. The MMO, at least for Horizon, stands a little bit more of a chance because it looks like it carries some spirit of the original games. This just looks like crap, Like, it just doesn't look like Ratchet and Clank proper. Character models are weird. Like, it's like I see this shit and I'm like, you're just trying to fail. Who's collecting the check, man?
Like, what do you get as a Ratchet and Clank? Because you're the Ratchet and Clank guy. Like, you look at it as they don't have confidence that this is like what I say, like, for a person who, like, you love the franchise. I don't have that sensibility. Like, how do you internalize it from a person who loves the franchise?
I think it's just a money play, right? Like, because I mean, Ratchet and Clank, I know Rift Apart didn't make a lot of money. So I imagine there's a level of like, okay, this thing's kind of waiting, but like it's persevered through so much, right? It was relevant on the PS4, it was relevant on the PS3. Like, they abandoned my boy Sly, they abandoned my boy Jack and Daxter. They abandoned these other PS2 era platformers, but Ratchet has just been there through all of it. So I kind of like, I don't read it as a holdover, that's for sure. I just read it as like, hey, if this pops off, I mean, it looks like it was made cheaply. I don't know. That's my only thought, is like, it was made cheaply. And since it was made cheaply, maybe they're like, fuck it, throw it out there, see what it does. Maybe it catches a different audience. I don't know. I wish I had access to these companies' data, because again, like, you look at some of the choices they make and I just wonder, it's like, does it pay off?
Right.
That's
the question.
And I just sound stupid. I don't know. All right, Cog, let's talk. I have the wrong thing in our timestamps here. Hang on. No, I was about to say Silent Hill, but that's next. Let's talk Concord. Don't call it a Concord comeback, Cog, because Sony has issued takedown notices for videos showcasing a fan-led project that has brought Concord back to life. So There were people sharing in private servers that they could host a match of Clash Point. Sony has noticed this, and they said after a long time of reverse engineering and server development, we just managed to play a match of Concord. The project is work in progress. It's still playable, but buggy. Once our servers are fully set up, we'll begin doing some private playtesting. If anyone here wants to join those playtests, let me know what region or time zone you're in. And while the volunteer developers admitted the build could be buggy, the team managed to get to the main menu, character select screen, and they got the matchmaking working again. Around this time, volunteers actually began sharing videos and images of the project, and that project started to gain traction. And then it caught the eye of Sony, who began striking down videos with copyright notices. Fans behind the rebuilt game, keen to make clear their attempt only to provide server access to players who had legitimately bought the game rather than anyone using or sharing copyrighted files. In a message on the fans' Discord, they said, I know this sucks for people who got forcefully refunded, but lawyers are most likely already watching everything we do. I want to ensure this project stays as legal as realistically can. And so we will be removing any posts containing links to copywritten files. Despite this, however, the group's leaders have now paused invitations stating they have received worrying legal action, end quote. So, I mean, I got two thoughts on this. One, PlayStation, I feel like they're just trying to scrub history a little bit, like a bit of, we didn't do that. At the same time, man, I could think, I mean this of no disrespect to, but I got to speak out of pocket. I can think of no bigger waste of time in your life than reviving Concord. If you have the potential to do that, you are so much more talented than anyone I know. Why are you spending your time reviving Concord? That's not good on your resume. No one looks at that shit and goes, I want that person on my team. That's a stain on the resume, man. That's a coffee stain. So, Cog, your thoughts on Concord coming back, or at least trying to?
Bro, I was just like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like who's clamoring for this? Like, who said, yo, this was a travesty. They shut this down.
This is a gem.
Like, bro, this like, I don't get it. Like, hey, shout out to y'all, but I agree. Like, there's so many other things you could be doing in the world, but you chose that this is the game you need to save. And Sony not playing with you though. They said worrying. They received worrying legal action. Yeah. Like, Sony wants this dead and buried, and I can't blame them. Obviously, we know this is one of the biggest disasters in video game history. They want this thing removed, but it's just why. Like, I don't get this. I was legit when you threw this in there. I was like, yo, I had no idea that this was a movement. Yeah. Like, whoever's doing this, there's so many high quality games that we have a list of that we would love you to save.
Yeah.
This ain't one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But God bless your passion, your technical acumen to try to do this. Yep. But bro, you use these resources for something that would get funded way more faster. You know what I'm saying? But God bless.
I agree.
Jesus. I didn't know this.
Kudos to the talent, but man, spend your talent resource elsewhere. All right. Silent Hill Townfall. The next Silent Hill game appears to have had a leaked release date. It's on the Liverpool, Mexico eShop, and the launch date is said to be March 26th, 2026. And so people were replying to this Reddit gaming leaks and rumors thread saying that they shop at the Liverpool stores and that this could be plausible. For me, I'm always interested in more Silent Hill. The question really is, what type of Silent Hill is this going to be? Because, you have the remakes, and then you have F, which is more traditional Silent Hill. So what does Townfall try to do? I mean, there was like that weird Vita Silent Hill game that was like a looter action RPG game. So I don't know what they're going to try to do with this. I feel like there's a chance that Townfall is like really weird though, because they have covered, like, we know the remakes for like Silent Hill 1 are coming up, and no doubt after that will be Silent Hill 3 and then 4. It's like all that ground is covered. So I'm just kind of looking at it thinking like, okay, you had F, that team who did F sold well. They should absolutely do another Silent Hill game. So are you just going to have like 3 different Silent Hill proper experiences? I would love more of it, to be clear. But I feel like this is going to be something different. Because they did that like Last Message one, which was like the first person text messaging game. So I think it's going to be something weird. That's my feel right now. But I don't know, man. We're recording this before the showcase.
Right.
Maybe we find out then.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is going to be, so I'm just as clueless as you with this. We shall see.
Cog, this next one, it's the most Ubisoft thing of all time. And I need your thoughts on it because you love Splinter Cell. And you could have had him much sooner, but, well, Ubisoft opted, instead of making Splinter Cell, which they were working on, they changed that project into xDefiant. So, yeah. Now, what was really interesting about this is that Ubisoft also said just a couple of days ago that many are turning away from the traditional releases in favor of subscriptions, live service, and free-to-play games, which is why Ubisoft is struggling. They said that people are not interested in traditional full-price games now, and that it's tough to achieve the sales they may once have had. And so that is why they are chasing things like xDefiant over Splinter Cell. But that's just the setup, Cog. This is your baby. This is the man in the darkness, the work within the shadows. Pandora Tomorrow on the original Xbox. Such an important video game. Cog, you read this news. What's your thoughts?
Heartbreaking, bro. Like, I guess the way you feel about Dishonored is kind of how I feel.
Yeah, it sounds it. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is near and dear to me.
Some of these stealth series, dude.
Yeah. It's like they're scared, bro. They're scared to do stealth. And, you know, look, I'm not going to sit there and say, yes, the data does not say that, you know, free to play and all that stuff. But it's just, we get into the point of market saturation, and we get into the point of how much trend chasing are you going to do that you're going to think that you're going to now stop Fortnite, you're going to stop all these things. It's very difficult. And then we've seen games that even when they make an impact, right, they can't sustain it. Yeah. And they fall to the wayside. This is a very difficult business. Yeah. It was just like, it just sucks because the original Ubisoft that I know would make these type of games. And I just refuse to believe that a high quality Splinter Cell game made with the love and care of that franchise, we can't even get the remake, bro. Like, where's the remake at? We were supposed to get that. Like, just wet our palate, like what Mass Effect did with the trilogy. Just remake the joint. Yeah. See what you get. See the response. I'm telling you, people have been craving for a Sam Fisher. You got to bring Michael Ironside back. We need the voice.
Yeah, of course.
Bro, like, I don't understand. The playbook's right there, and they're just so scared and trend chasing. And that's why I kind of like, I called on them, bro. Like, I really have. The map vomit games, you know, open world games, the same formulaic joint. Like, they again, when I talk about, Ubisoft looks completely different to me. This is not the company that I fell in love with that used to make very distinct. I remember anytime a Ubisoft game, you see that logo or you see that Tom Clancy, you're like, oh, you knew something fire was coming. And it's just not the same. And then obviously, you know, what they're, go for it. Like, you know, I'm speaking to the realm of the Dukes while Maddie goes to get something. It's like, I just remember those times and how important they were for the games industry. And now they're just a shadow of themselves. And, you know, I worry about their creative, you know, sensibilities in this day and age. And, you know, what you got? It's
not the proper Tom Clancy game that you're talking about. But did you ever play this game?
Hell
this is a Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
Co-op sniping.
Yeah, where you're like, you're aiming with your AI teammate and he's like, clear. And like, you take a shot at the same time. Bro. Yeah, we've definitely talked about this game because, bro,
hell yeah,
that's what I miss. I'm like, this game was so good. That, to me, this like stretch of Ubisoft, right? This was I think 2010, something like that, 2010, 2011. I can't find the date on the back of the box right now. 2012. There was that stretch of Ubisoft where they were doing games like that, but then they were doing like Valiant Hearts and
shout the Valiant Hearts.
Like they were doing these little smaller games, bigger games. They were just in a groove, bro. Like it was a good time. I'm one of the weirdos who like, I know Watch Dogs under-delivered.
I did like Watch Dogs.
I liked Watch Dogs 1 a lot, bro. I played the shit out of that game. I really, really liked Watch Dogs 1 a lot. So I was eating up what Ubisoft was doing. Actually, it's funny, in that stretch, this is so funny. The only game I didn't like.
Which one?
Far Cry 3. It was the only one that I was like, this shit is so vanilla. Boss is so fucking overrated. Like, and honestly, bro, I gotta say, I was on my bougie Skyrim wave when people were hitting me with it's like Skyrim with guns. Bro, you think I marched into that launch? I said, "Oh, really?" I hit them with "Oh, really?" I bought that shit jaded as hell, and I was like, "No, this is the furthest thing from Skyrim with guns." I digress. Yeah, so continue.
No, it's funny you said that too, because I remember that was the moniker, and I was just like, "Yeah, that wasn't for me." But as far as Watch Dogs, look, outside of the vertical slice graphical fidelity fiasco. Yeah. Remember they had the raining underneath in Chicago. You had your man, what's his name? Aiden Pierce. Mm-hmm. Outside of how it didn't look exactly as stunning as it was when we finally got it, I like that they were competing in the Grand Theft Auto space in a unique way with the hacking and the using your phone and access. I love that game. I thought the multiplayer was unique in terms of trying to, you kind of, in the shadows, try to find out where someone is and stuff like that. I just thought it was cool. So yeah, that's just the Ubisoft I know. And it's just, to me, there's no excuse that we can't get a Splinter Cell remake, and that to hear it was xDefiant, and to hear them say we are worried about, making these type of games. I mean, if they're good, people will come to them. So that I'm going to stand on that. And I just don't like them trend chasing. I just don't.
That's the thing. That's why I say it's the most Ubisoft thing, because they had something that probably would have made more money than xDefiant. Whether or not it would have made a difference in their company outlook is a different conversation. But I would not be surprised if more people showed up and supported and bought a good Splinter Cell game over xDefiant.
That's what I'm saying.
Like and that's the thing that's killed Ubisoft, is that they drop for like the next big toy. They're like, oh my God, dude, we're going to make this now. It just caused it, bro. When I was reading that Assassin's Creed report, right, where they're like, here's all the leaked games. When I saw on there an Assassin's Creed Fall Guys clone, I was like, here we go, bro.
Here we go again. Here we go. The trend chasing.
Yeah,
bro.
They can't help themselves, bro.
They cannot help themselves. It's just, you know what I think is, last thing I'll say, I think the best and the worst thing that happened to them is Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Because it was a flop initially. They took their swap. They stood with it. And then it became its own thing. And now it's just monster live service, right?
Yeah.
And now they're like, we want more of those.
Good point.
That's been the gift and the curse with them. And I'm like, God damn it.
Did you see that they like halted their trading and everything like that? Yeah, they halted. So it seems like they're going to sell off soon.
Did not know. Wow.
Yeah. Tencent.
Yeah, get ready.
Or Saudis. One of the two.
One of the two.
All right, well, let's keep moving along here, Cog. Just a little bit of an update here for the Rockstar fans. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not getting a next-gen update yet, but the first one is. It releases on December 2nd. It's 60 frames per second, enhanced image quality with resolution up to 4K, HDR support. And for those of you who own the prior gen version, say an Xbox One owner, you'll get the upgrade for free on your Series X and S. So look forward to that. I will not be there. There's already enough shit going on in December.
That's a lot.
But just wanted to throw it out there for those who are interested. Cog, any thoughts?
No, just cool. Shout out to I'm curious. I'm going to speak to Salvo on this. He's the Red Dead.
Yeah. I love Red Dead, but just, we don't need to do this again.
I'm curious, though. I want to see how, because he loves that game. So I want to see how he feels. I just want to see how it looks, how much effort they put into it. I'm just curious.
Absolutely. Well, Cog, this is great news here. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. They announced their final DLC, Mysteria Ecclesiae. It's out now. I've been playing it. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But with that, they confirmed this was the last one, and they're moving on. And they told people on the Kingdom Come server, they said, don't leave yet. There's something on the horizon. So I don't know what they're working on next at Warhorse, but they are moving things along here. And so with that, they announced a big milestone that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has reached 4 million sales, which it is a big milestone. I think it could have done more. It kind of plateaued. This is what I've talked about, right? Remember, like out the gate, 2 million, right? Yeah. And I said these games like flatten afterwards. And so 4 million a year, I mean, I imagine given the way they've budgeted the game, it was cheaper to make because it's in Europe and whatnot. Like, I'm sure they're happy with this, but I'll gush later. But like, man, give them more than 4. Give them more, man. Like, how are more people not buying this fucking game? I think I have a theory as to why, but I'll save that again for my thoughts on the game so far. But Cog, your thoughts on the sales figures? I was happy to see them finding really great success.
Yeah, I mean, basically with them, obviously we want that number to be bigger. We love this game. Like I want 8, 10 million. Like I mean, this game is special, and I love the fact that he got the nominations that it did. I'm pulling them for them in a lot of categories. You know, it is a multi-plat game, so you know we got to be honest. You know, in terms of Yota doing 3 on one platform. You know, in a shorter time, right? You would think it would be a little bit more. Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, damn, I was just hoping it'd be more. Is how amazing it is. But from my understanding, shout out to Toby and those guys over there over at Warhorse, I think the cost of that custom engine, like you said, it's lower. So they're actually, seeing more of that money is kind of the vibe I get. It didn't cost them as much as it would like other games. And I think that engine, like that modified bro, I think that engine is special.
Oh my God. It runs so good on my PC. So I can't believe how polished the game is.
Bro, optimize is an understatement. And I remember when they first announced 60 frame, I was like, okay. And I like, to me, when you see that engine, you see the faces and the speech and the talking with the animation, it's just beautiful stuff. Yeah. And I still think like they could go head to head with their little Unreal. And apparently it's like an older version of Crytek. Like bro, this is amazing what they're doing with this engine. So pulling for them at the Game Awards. I just want more people to play this game. Like this needs to be even higher than me. This game should be special. And I'm hoping as a result of the Game Awards, maybe they get an extra little boost. Yeah. And obviously we got the DLC out, and I'm curious to see because I haven't got a chance to play it. What you say when we get to
tell you all about it.
Yes, sir.
This is a fun little one. We got to first look at the Zelda movie, right? We knew the casting. Now we got to look at them in costume. They're recording on set, on location, which was cool. I thought they looked good. Like it was definitely like, I mean, you think of like the old Zelda movies and whatnot, and you're like, oh, but this looks good. This looks really, really good. So I'm optimistic. Any thoughts, so?
Same. We talked about it, shout out to Bradby, and then we talked about it with Addict on Summon Sign. And I was like, Brad, well, we feeling? And he's like, yo, I'm feeling good. I'm like, it looks good. I'm feeling Breath of the Wild-ish. The casting looks right. You know what I'm saying? We got to see about, Zelda with the talking. We got to see how that going to go. I mean, Link with the talking, excuse me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got to see how that go. But no, I thought it looked right. So I was like, all right, that's a good start.
Really good. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. All right. This next one I just thought was interesting because like these partnerships, I mean, this guy's an icon. Like if you look at do you see in this article I linked the tweet of him just standing there in front of the Disney Plus logo? Obviously, I'm talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Hideo Kojima. I'm starting to get why people love this guy beyond his games. Like, like his just swagger. The way he's like, oh, we got a big announcement for you. And that is that Death Stranding is getting an anime series on Disney Plus in 2027. And that they had the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex 2045 character designer release the poster art for it, which I thought also was interesting. But somehow this guy got the Disney bag. I don't know how. I don't know what this guy does, but he's got pull, bro. He's got pull. But you can find the pictures on his Twitter account of him just straight up stunting in front of the Disney Plus logo. And he's feeling himself, bro. You could see in the photo, this man is completely feeling himself. So, he got a big business deal done there. We'll see how this all turns out. I have no idea what Death Stranding could do in an anime series, but I'm keen to find out because this was the year of Kojima really winning me over. Yeah, Death Stranding and Metal Gear Solid. I was like, okay, I get it now. Any thoughts on this though, Con?
Tremendous accomplishment, regardless of how we feel. Obviously we want the quality of the series to be there. The fact that he's looks like he's gonna have his hands all over this. Him standing in front of that Disney sign is iconic. Like that is super flex. Like, look, this is one of the greatest mercenaries in gaming, and
he will get your bag no matter who you are.
Oh, bro, he's gonna get his bag. Like you can't knock the hustle. And look, he's one of the most unique thinkers in the space. I'll always give him that. And not all of his titles hit for me like the way for everyone else, but I respect what he tries to do and add something different to the games industry. And he's a mover and shaker. It's just obvious. So salute to him, man. This is a big look.
I agree. I'm just so curious how that conversation started. Like, Disney Plus, it would have made sense. Like Amazon's in there, Netflix is in on gaming, Disney Plus.
I know that's new. Yeah. Again, that transmedia push. Everyone's trying to get in the bag. Now they're seeing it's probably a bidding war for them. Amazon, HBO, now Disney's like, yo, we need to make a play. So he's using them again. Like it's the perfect time. You can't get mad at it. And I like anime for him. I like that.
I do too.
I like that.
Yeah, because he's already got like the live action stuff with his own crew on the game itself. So like, what are you gonna do? Do that again?
Exactly.
Anime makes sense. I agree.
Yep, 100%.
All right, Cog. Last bit of news before we talk about what we're playing. Coming soon to Xbox Game Pass. Quite the slate here. For those of you still subscribed, on November 19th, you're gonna get Moonlighter 2. Calibra and the Souls of Limbo, and Revenge of the Savage Planet. All of these are on either Ultimate or Premium. On November 20th, you're getting Monsters Are Coming, Rock and Road. This is only on PC. The Crew Motorsport is also going to be available on Ultimate. And then November 25th, Banishers, Ghost of New Eden, as well as Kill and Fire 2 arrive on all tiers. And then December 1st, day one, here comes Marvel Cosmic Invasion Ultimate and PC tier, with December 2nd bringing you Lost Records, Bloom, and Rage for Ultimate PC and Premium. So, Cog, saw you rubbing your hands. You sent me the news before this. What are you thinking about? Tell me.
The price of the brick went up. We weren't happy about that. And I'll be stressed. I'll stress that. But man, this is a sick lineup, bro. And for me, shout out to Attic, who's been singing the praises, him and Solve Moonlighters too. And that's a big look. I played Revenge of the Savage Planet already. Highly anticipate people go check that out. That is a really fun game. Shout out to Alex Hutchinson and those guys. We interviewed them. Fantastic. There's a lot of gems in here. But when I saw Marvel Cosmic Invasion, bro, I lost it. This is tribute, right? I believe the Turtles joint.
Yeah.
Bro, that game, I played the demo on Steam. It's amazing. It has drop in, drop out. You could have it's 4 players, but you could control 2 characters at once as well. And I thought the way the synergy was amazing. It's that 90s X-Men kind of, it is such a cool looking beat 'em up. And y'all know the rules. Surfer is in the game. Playable character, and they look like they really did fan service to pop. Bro, I am so hyped for that game. So when I saw this in game, I said, oh yes. Oh yes. Because I was buying that anyway. I'm like, oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, so this is a good look for me. I will be there December 1st. Going in there day one. Yeah, Marvel Cosmic Adventure has my attention. That's one of my December games I'm excited for.
Very nice. Cog, it's time to get into what video games we were playing this week. Love your lineup, sir. Lots through. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, we got to start off with the first one, the major one. Shout out to the Black Rock. Outer Worlds 2 is done. Finally.
Right.
Finally done. So apologize, Sub Inside listener. You may get some repeat bars because I had recorded with Brad and Addict on Summertime this week. He gave me some bars there about this. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my experience, man. I thought that the only mistake I made is I took a flaw, which was the leveling up evenly flaw, which didn't allow me to play like a normal RPG. What I do, and it's my own fault. The game warned me. It said, "Hey, we do not recommend you do this on your first playthrough." But I was like, "Nah."
You got cocky.
I got cocky. I can make it work. And there was some times where it benefited me, where there were skills that I would never invest in. Say, for example, like melee or I think it was another one too in terms of engineering. I usually don't always go. I would usually kind of lead more hacking. There were times when engineering saved me, and I'm opening up doors and doing things in conversations that I would never do as opposed to it. So yeah, I would say like as it got towards the end, first of all, shout out. Auntie's Choice was absolutely hilarious at some points. Like absolutely hilarious. Then when you
best part of the game, I think.
Yeah, when you go to their area.
Yeah.
And you get to that place and the corporatism, it's so over the top. It's laugh out loud. And then when you learn more about I'll just say the executive infrastructure, hilarious, bro. Hilarious.
Wasn't it so weirdly good though? Like there was a level of like, oh, that's kind of crazy reveal that they had tucked in there. Like,
yes, that was a sick reveal.
I'll just say like a certain person in a jail. I was like, what?
Yes. Yes.
A lot of cool stuff.
A lot of cool stuff. I thought one other highlight was that strike mission had me die laughing. They fighting for basic needs. And I was like, yo, this is hilarious. And it's kind of a play. You know, it's a playful dig at all the things in current society right now. So you got that. And then I felt the order was like a playful dig, not disrespecting anybody's religion, but almost scientific like religions that, you know, bro, the radio stations with the numbers and the, you know, the foolishness that leads into it. Oh, the great equation will let us know and stuff like that. Like, I thought that was well done. I will say though, my nitpick was a bit on the protectorate. I felt like, you know, without spoiling, like I felt like I couldn't, because remember, I have Tristan as one of my major companions. Like, Tristan's my right hand. That's my dude. You know, he really has strong feelings as the arbiter of certain things. I love that the game, there were parts of the game where I took Tristan and Tristan either said, yo, bro, don't take me here because this is going to mess up the mission for you. You should leave me back on the ship. So, okay. I got to a certain area and they was like, you can't bring your man in here. Nope, we ain't. I was like, oh, the disrespect. Like, I kind of felt it. I was like, okay. But luckily, my skill checks on certain things, I was able to, you know, to kind of journey through, and I was able to get through. So he was a character that got better as it went on. My crew ended up being Marisol and Tristan. I felt them two together also gave me more moments of what I consider the Dragon's Age Inquisition moments, where you're walking along the open world or hub world, and they're having banter amongst each other. And I'm like, oh, they being very disrespectful to each other, very quippy. Like, you know, because he's like, oh, how does it feel to be a chick that's this old and still be able to cape? I was like, yo, like ageism. And then she was like, look, like, Connor's like, you're just an idiot. Like, it was hilarious. Now, here's my thing. The game, I thought, was super dope. The choices I felt were impactful. They mattered. My only issue, it's my nitpick where I had to take some points. Oh no. I felt the companions were as though they were interactive, and some of them were cool, the strongest being Inez. I felt Inez was the best written character, period. Like, there was a moment with her with a lab that was a stand down scene that was powerful. I was like, oh, okay, Inez, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But other than her, the rest were kind of one note. And then my issue was, I don't believe you guys would ever get together to do anything. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like me putting this team together, really, I didn't believe that they would band together because they're so distinct in their beliefs. And there's times where it's just like, okay, I'm really doing foul stuff to something that you believe in. And granted, some would react like, yo, bro, that ain't it.
Yeah, I'm about to leave.
Yeah. Some did that for sure. And I had to restart the same. Well, I was like, oh, my bad. I didn't realize, you know what I'm saying? But that was my only nitpick. I just felt like, man, I didn't feel as a collective, this group would really work together to do something. Yeah. But other than that, I thought the ending I felt was satisfied. I got a lot of clarity. It was long. My ending was long. I don't know about yours. My ending was very long. I was like, okay, they're giving me, okay, what happened
slides,
here? Yeah, the slides and stuff like that. Awesome. Yeah, I thought that was cool. I felt closure on that. And overall, I just felt like it was just super dope, solid RPG. Combat, the weapons that I got towards the end, bro.
Oh, I know, right? That's what I was saying. I was like, holy shit, man. They just poured on. You didn't get to did you get to mess with all of them? Because that was my thing. I was like, I didn't really I was like, oh, new toy. I can't use this yet. Like,
because what it is I got this shotgun that would it was like a stealth shotgun. So if I get behind you and I get instant kills. And then not only that, it would turn your body into dust so no one would know.
Oh,
and do the body detection when they're doing their sweeps.
Oh, so I had you didn't even have to use the acid to that's so funny.
Bro, it's called the last whisper. This shotgun is crazy. Then the reason why I love Marisol is because I really dove into the end scanner. So basically I'd get the end scanner, I'd spec her out. It would tell me who's hostile, what's going on, weaknesses, that kind of stuff. Then I do extra damage in that mode. And then she had a special ability that would help me keep my scanner up longer. She's giving me energy while I'm doing it. So I had her and then Tristan from a gameplay standpoint running out there. He's got extra armor, extra health. Bro, my leadership and companion skills was so crazy. I'd send them out. They'd be wrecking stuff before I could get because the game starts off where they're weak.
Yeah.
But if you really invest in the playstyle that I did, which was leadership, I had a weapon that it was a machine gun that every time I get a kill, they shoot faster, they react faster. Like, bro, my companion ability from a purely combat standpoint was amazing. Like, you could really, I got to the point, bro, I was OP. I was clearing out entire maps.
Isn't it? It's such a nice scale, though. Like, you start off weak, but like by the end, like 5 to 10 hours, you just start cleaning house and it feels so good. Like, everything's online. They did a great job with that.
So powerful. I got level 30. I did every companion quest. I got all that stuff. So yeah, overall solid experience. Loved it.
I gotta know.
Let's go.
Top 10 this year?
It's up there. I really liked it, man. I would say, obviously, Expedition, you know how I feel. Shinobi, you know how I feel. Kingdom Come Deliverance, you know how I feel. Split Section 2, I thought was really solid this year. Alters all day, every day. I love all Alters is special. People really need to play that game. I thought that. And another game that I will talk about, but it's up there. It's definitely top 10. It's definitely about 10 for sure.
Nice,
for sure. I love this game. Yeah. So all I would say is now that we've done this, Obsidian, we flirted, but it's time to really get into the romance game. And I will say this, in terms of Outer Worlds 1, even though I like Inez and I like Tristan, they didn't have the memorable characters.
Yeah, that was my big thing.
Yeah. Like, I think that's fair criticism. Like, I don't feel any of them are truly like, yo, like this is a Garrus from Mass Effect moment, or, you know, there's certain characters provide. Yeah, they did. I even thought Vicar was a strong character in Outer Worlds 1, you know, but Pavati it's going to be hard for them to top. So I really want them to focus on the emotional connection with companions a little bit more from a story and background standpoint. Not from a gameplay standpoint, they interacted, they had their factions and stuff like that. But I just didn't, like I said, I didn't connect as much like I did with other characters in other games, like I would say that. But yeah, overall, loved it. Outer Worlds 2 is done, so I'm happy with that. And I did everything. I did every task.
It's got that feeling to it. I wanted to, you know.
OCD, bro. I couldn't leave. I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta go over there. Yeah, I gotta see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So shout out to them on that. And then the next one, now I could talk about it, is D&D, man. Demio D&D Battle Marked. Okay. Maddie, I'm gonna need you to try this game. Stop playing. I'm gonna need you to try this game. I'm gonna need you to give it a shot, because here's the thing. Demio, the first game, was more of a roguelike, you know, these big expansive dungeons. You go 3 levels deeper and then you get to a boss, and you could play it solo for sure, but it wouldn't capture a guy like you, only because I feel like you've got to play that with someone. Like Demio, the first game, as great as it is, you could play solo, but it's truly meant to play with friends, right? And you get a nice dungeon run. It's dope. It's turn-based. It's co-op. It's dope. Battle Marked is like, okay, we have teamed with Wizards of the Coast. Any issue we have, we've got a narrative now. We've got a story. And now what they did is they introduced, what I consider the second die, which is, all right, so you got your Demio die, which is basically when you're in combat, you know, you could roll, it's whether it's a hit, the skull means a miss, or a double sword means critical hit, right? Yeah. So basically you start out with your cards, your card you have. So you got 2 cards that are literally your character's ability cards. So if, let's say, for example, you ran with the Bard or you ran with a Paladin, they've got a card that is specific to them, that what they've done now is they put that on cooldown, right? And they say, okay, you can use it, but in every 3 turns, then you can use it again. You just can't keep using it every turn because that's their special ability, right? But then you've got other cards that kind of fill out the character ability, and then you've got some basic cards that basically could go around for other characters as well. They lean into what they did is they took the learnings from Demio, which is, like I said, you got your archer, you got your paladin, you've got your rogue who goes around the map. He's stealthy. He could go invisible. Enemies can't see them. You know what I'm saying? You got the archer that's great for long distance, can use environmental stuff to their ability, hit barrels, explode stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then also you can bring companions and thing. Then you got the magician who use the elemental stuff. So you got your lightning abilities, you got your fire magic and things like that. And again, all enemies have resistances, abilities, vulnerabilities, stuff. Ogres sometimes continue to heal themselves. You got to poison them, do stuff like bro, this is hardcore RPGing in a cooperative setting. But now where they take it to the next level is we've got a narrative, we've got towns, we've got quests. And when we end it, we got the Baldur's Gate effect. Random events that would happen that now bring out the Baldur's Gate Dungeons and Dragons die, where that's the 20 side die, where you have to roll, hey, you have a conversation with them, you're trying to convince them. The narrator voice from Baldur's Gate comes up.
Oh, okay.
You've encountered a mic in it. They don't trust you. How do you approach? Do you try to do that? And they tell you the level of skill check. Roll 11 or higher. You see if you can convince them. If not, this could be an ambush. Now the playing field has changed. Just random things like that. And no two play sessions are the same. But what's dope, when they really did it, which I didn't think they would do, now I can play a single player because now you can level up your characters with skill points and abilities and then lean into play styles, lean into cards, bro.
Nice.
It's early. First joint is they've got 2 campaigns that's available at launch.
Yeah.
This is a whole new wave with Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons and Dragons sensibility and Dungeons and I don't know. Like I'm playing with my boy Chris. He's a Dungeons. He's like, yo, he's saying that it'll be like DBO did a Tales game and they're doing all the Tales lore. And I don't know, but he's like, yo, bro, this is official. Like they got this person. Okay. So they're respecting both. And the onboarding is so good. It is not overwhelming. It is not intimidating. They've got the perfect marriage. They've kept DBO sensibilities, but they got the D&D. Bro, I'm loving this game so far. And they're going to add new adventures. They're going to add new characters each one. So you start off, first of all, shout out to the Bard. The Bard is wild powerful this year. Oh my God, the Bard is ridiculous. So you got the Fighter, which is like a Dwarven Fighter. He's more your tank. OP, he's got armor, he's got shield. You've got your Paladin, who I take, who's kind of the healer, but he's still tough. He's got a little bit of armor stuff he could do. You've got your Archer, you got the Sorcerer, and you got Rogue at launch. So I think it's about 5 or 6. They're still going to be adding more characters. They're still going to be adding more adventures. And yeah, I'm telling people right now, man, this is special. So yeah, again, on Quest, PS5 base, Steam base, no VR needed.
Oh.
No VR needed. If you're intimidated, you don't want to do no VR, and it's more than playable and more than doable. And I will say, you can play it solo, but where I will say, if you play this with friends, bro, hours could go. And they also, last thing I'll say is for people who like Demon, who want those longer sessions, who just want to do dungeons and don't want to do all that stuff, there's a mode for that where you can do curated dungeons. And once you unlock them or stuff like that, or they even have that mode by itself where you just want to focus on those longer sessions where it's hard and it has a challenge.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got it.
Nice.
They got it. So far, so good with D&D. And then the last thing is, shout out to my man. I got to shout out my man, DJ Oros. This is one of my hardcore Destiny guys, right? So us Destiny brothers, we're going through it. We don't play Destiny anymore. We don't bring the crew together like we used to. So you can tell they're trying to find something, trying to get that itch. Something
wanderer who needs to find a home.
They need to find a home. They're refugees now. Destiny's on the out. I'm seeing all these Destiny content creators play Arc Raiders. So he was the first, and he was like, yo, I'm telling you. Like, bro, and I'm like, you don't even play PvP. Like, what are you? He's like, bro, solo queue is lit. All right. So I'm like, all right, I heard about it, but I'm still like, I'm not doing this. Because I'm like, I don't need this level of addiction. I don't need that in my life. I'm
you were abstaining last week, you know?
Yeah, like I'm good being Destiny live service and MMO. I like this life. I'm living a clean life now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in a drug infested environment, bro. Why my man? It's like, yo, check your mail.
Oh, he gifted it.
He said, I don't want to hear it, bro. Arc Raiders gifted you on Xbox. What's up? I'm like, come on. All right, DJ.
The shackles.
Bro, he forced it on me. So, all right, let me start it. So I do the tutorial, stuff like that. So first off the bat, the environment of this game is super dope. Like it is like Last of Us meets Terminator. So it's like, not post-apocalyptic, but in the sense that like you could tell like everyone's living underground. Then you got the Arc Raiders who go up to the surface to be risky to try to get supplies and then to kind of bring back down for the extraction. Bro, these machines are no joke. Like they've got the snitches, they got the little ones that stitch out to the big ones. They got the big, bro. you cannot mess with these things head up. It's a coordinated strategic effort if you see these things, but where they win, because remember, I'm not the extraction shooter guy. I don't do this. This is where, Marathon, you better take note. The biggest concern with playing a game like this is I'm not playing something I do all this, get this dope loot, I get murdered, lose all my stuff. That's really not that appealing to me. Like, it's kind of scary, to be honest, right? So where they win is they say, okay, Cog, you don't want to do that. Fine. We got a free loadout section for you, right? Where we give you a loadout, less risk, less lift. You go out there. Now, you can't do certain things, and then you don't get this other option, which I think is the dopest option of the game. I forgot what the exact name is. I think it's called like the free pocket or whatever. So if you
save pockets,
save pocket, right? So if you play normally, okay, you have a bad run, but you put that one thing, you choose one thing out of all the things you got, and you put it out. You can extract that joint out, even if you die. I thought that is a cool safety net for people who are intimidated. Now, the thing where the game really surprised me was, bro, like, I'm losing and whatever, and I'm leveling up, and I got a skill tree, and I got a specific play style. I could go into survivalist. I could go into these specific things, and I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna front. Like, the addiction, first of all, people are shiesty, but the addiction is like, so I'm running with my man. So DJ, he's super friendly. Like, I don't know how, like, so you have the option to toggle proximity chat. Proximity chat is a game changer. Absolute game changer. So you go in there, so he see people. So he turns his joint on. Friendly, right? No beef, right? Yeah. So dude's like, no, it's cool. It's me and my man over here. We just trying to extract. We filed extraction, whatever. Bro, when this joint goes up, the shystiness of mankind kicks in. So there be dudes who be waiting. You see them. And sometimes they waiting for the joint to happen so they can pop off on you. It is the ultimate tension-filled thing. And the last thing I will say, this has the best sound design in video games.
Yeah, it's that Battlefront sound design. Like they killed it with that game, and it's felt so sorely missed until this one.
Yeah, bro, this is world class where sound matters. You can hear things. It affects the gameplay. It reminds me of like when you got Turtle Beaches for the first time in video games. Remember when Turtle Beach was a thing? Yeah. You're like, oh, I can hear the footsteps coming up the store. It's that moment. Like, there's nothing sound wise. I'm not saying soundtrack. I'm saying sound design, like just audio.
Footsteps, ambient,
You feel like, yo, there is somebody here. There's something here. I don't know. And then you turn on that proximity, you see what's going on. Like, it adds to it. So look, I was forced into the life. I'm still trying to abstain, but I wanted to give it a shot because I was like, nah, I get it. Arc Riders, I get it. I get the loop. And I see why you are who you are. And Marathon, oh boy, you're in trouble. Oh boy, you better, since you're like borrowing, you need to borrow the fun factor of this game and why people love it. It's that good. So yeah, those are my games this week.
Right on. I'm glad it's all clicking with you. That's good. Yeah. Arc Raiders is one that I just stepped away from. Yeah, I was like, I'm not.
You're smart.
So much to finish.
You're smart.
As much as I want to get on the wave, I just oh my heart of hearts, bro. You said that your term half-eaten sandwich was in my head. I was like, there's so many in the fridge right now. There's
Facts.
So many I got to catch up on. So
no, you're smart.
Bad choice.
Stay away from this type of life.
Yeah, because this year has been, I'll talk about it a million times, no doubt, but this year has been so eye-opening to me in that, like, I just need to make better choices when I play something, because that turnaround time of when something good can pop up, I just completely underestimated this year. And this is the year I have the most half-finished games. Like, you know, again, I as I said, I'm on track to, like, in between now and December, finish like 5 to 6 things, but that doesn't feel good. Like, you know, I like to get lost in something, play it a lot, finish it, move on. That's how I've always done it. So that's my lesson learned for this year, but I was like, I can't do the multiplayer.
No, you can't.
I just can't. It's just not a good choice for me this year.
Smart man. You live such more of a productive life. So what have you been playing, sir?
All right. So in a productive move, I dabbled in Black Ops 7. I felt a little bad because I played MW3's campaign to completion. I did not play much of Black Ops 6 and its campaign. I played a lot of its multiplayer, though.
Oh, so good.
Which I know, right? And then I dove into 7's campaign. So I've only dabbled in the worst COD has had to offer as of late, unfortunately. This was, though, unlike MW3. MW3 was like is it really that bad? Black Ops 7, though, like, I had people who were reviewing the game reach out to me and they're like, bro, I think the best thing you can say about this game is experimental. Admittedly, like, I appreciate them sharing it with me, but I was like, all right, like, whatever. Like, I don't really give a fuck about COD. When the video started to come out, I had no idea, because the thing that Black Ops 7 did to earn my respect pre-launch was the thing we talked about at the showcase this year. Xbox, like, we have one more thing. It's been here since the beginning. And we're watching the trailer like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And it ends up being Call of Duty. And there was that level of frustration of, really, your one more thing was Call of Duty. But remove myself from that, there was that level of, okay, I didn't know right away. I can't act like I fully knew right away. You got me. You did the old bait and switch that COD's done a few times in the past, where it's like, oh, it is Call of Duty. You care now, though. You didn't care, but now you thought that looked nice. What's the difference? You could feel the marketing speaking to you. And so I respect when they pull that off on me, because I'm like, I have a good eye for this shit. And if I can't spot it, it's like, all right. So I decided at that point, I'll give it a shake. But what really pushed me forward was when the video started to come out. When I saw that big raid boss, I was like, what is happening here? You know, I'm not deep in the COD multiplayer scene at all anymore, so I don't have strong opinions on that. But the campaigns I keep my eye on, you know, I think it's important. Zombies, I think, is a lost cause. Like, just when you, not for Black Ops 7, I'm just talking generally. Like, I was watching a video, a YouTuber, very small YouTuber, posted a video called, I think it was like Dear Treyarch or something like that. I recommend people watch it. It's like a 40-minute video essay about the evolution of zombies as a mode and what it started off as and the questions you were asking yourself when you're playing versus what it is now. Like, it has waypoints now, but the original zombies were just like, how long can I survive? And it was uncovering and doing better each time you went around that map. It was very arcadey. So I don't say zombies is lost because of Black Ops 7, but anyway, I see this raid boss and I'm like, all right, I need to see what this is all about. At least MW3 I beat.
Oh no.
But Black Ops 7 really is spectacularly bad. And I'm not even angry. Like, it really is one of those things where I'm like, wow, this is worse than I expected. And it's not like let's shit on Call of Duty. You know, it's not that. Like, it really is sincerely that bad. So, and I say this as someone who is a COD detractor, who's always like, shake it up, shake it the fuck up. Would you? Not this much. You know, like, they lost. People are like, COD doesn't have an identity. I'm like, oh, you play this game and you'll find out real quick it does, because this game is like not Call of Duty. And you can just tell the developers didn't want to make COD. But man, where do I begin? I mean, I think my biggest complaint is they went back to the same issue that plagued MW3, right? So this whole story mode is designed to set up this end game in Avalon. So they have this open world Warzone map. And they're like, yeah, you're going to go here at the end game and you're going to run around and like take on different activities. Bro, the first mission in the game, immediately, I say it in my video, I'm like, this thing immediately you can tell is compromised. Like, health bars. I decided to play in single player, but you load into a co-op campaign lobby. After the first cutscene in the game, it kicks you back to the multiplayer lobby to then trigger your mission and start it up. And if you dare to play solo, you know how most Call of Duty campaigns, you have your AI soldiers with you?
Yeah.
Bro, they're not here. They're in the cutscenes, but they're not here. So they'll be talking like, I just took one down. Dude, I'm the only one in the level. What are you talking about?
What are they talking about?
Yeah. So right away, that's like the first 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, this is a problem. Like, there's already like 3 major, not nitpicks, but like problems.
Yeah.
You beat the first mission. You can already tell by where the story's going. Number one, writing. Like, I know I'm a broken record with this shit, so I'll keep it light. But like, it's just like, you know, I forgot the main character's name, but he calls her, like, let's say her name is Karen. He's like, Karen, the CEO of the guild. And it's like that writing, like, you know, hey, gamer, you know, in case you didn't know who this was.
Remind me.
This is the CEO of the guild, because we didn't take any time to build her up. Anyway, it's very apparent they don't want to make Call of Duty. So then after this first mission, you get dropped into Avalon. I'm like, okay, this is like some Far Cry shit here. Like, this is like, you know, very like Caribbean style open world zone. I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on here. Bro, I don't care what anyone says. Set pieces in COD can be pretty lit at times. I love the mission by mission structure because I think of Black Ops Cold War where you like you infiltrate the embassy and there's no guns blazing. It's like finding secret badges and passes and like stealth and dialogue. And it's like a complete like mission based around espionage. The mission structure in Call of Duty is important for that reason because each has its own flavor. Like this is the ghillie sniper mission, you know, lay down while the whole patrol walks by you and the tank goes around. Of course, these iconic moments that define Call of Duty campaigns, bro, that is the payoff. I'm sorry, that's the sacrifice you make when you go to this open world thing. It's dead silent. The AI is not only broken in combat, but bro, it spawns on you constantly. I have so many moments in the campaign where I'm like looking that direction. I look to my right and all of a sudden I get shot in that place I was looking and there's like 3 of them looking at me thinking, where the fuck do you guys come from? Yeah. It happened so many times though. No set pieces, technically compromised. Like I was on top of a VTOL that was riding around the open world map. It was dead silent as I was doing it. Like no, when I say dead silent, I mean like no music, no chatter, nothing. Like feels very incomplete. VTOL ends up crashing in the middle of this mission. When it crashes, there's no like debris left behind. It's just like you crash, the model disappears and it's just flames.
Okay.
So it's that. And then the story is just bad, bro. They're building off what I think is a legendary Call of Duty campaign in Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is like one of the peak moments in Call of Duty's history with the campaign, especially because it presents choice and consequence. And it has this ambiguous ending that lets you think about it and lets you go, how did it go for you? And they didn't answer it. And so right away when Black Ops 7 was going to try to answer 2 story, I was like, there's choices though. How are you going to do that?
How are you going to handle it?
And I just think they've done a terrible job with it. And it's pure attempts at nostalgia bait, which I'm usually game for, like with any game. Like, of course, remind me of the things I love, sure. But it just doesn't get it. You know, and that's again evident in the story and the writing. Like, I'm one of the believers that like COD campaigns can be great, and I feel bad. Black Ops 6 is one I didn't experience, but Modern Warfare campaigns were awesome up until 3. Black Ops Cold War was also great. Like, you know, this is a franchise capable of still putting on a really great story, even if people like to poke fun at it. I'm right there with you, but like, you know, these stories can be not just like good, but excellent even. And there's no reason why a company with this amount of resources and investment should be putting up stinkers like this. I mean, I get it. We'll have off years no matter what, but like it can't be like this is, you know, MW3 felt like an anomaly. The game was reportedly plagued with like bad development cycles and, you know, it was just a hellish moment. And I felt bad for Sledgehammer because there were reports that were coming out from Schreier, like the devs didn't even want to work on this. This wasn't what they wanted to do. Somehow though, this game is, I think, worse. And that says something because I was very critical of MW3, but this was the moment I went like, I'm not mad. I just looked at this. I'm like, what is going on, guys? Like MW3, the thing that bailed it out was its multiplayer. You know, a lot of people were like, the maps were excellent. It was, and in that game, you want to talk nostalgia bait. The MW3 multiplayer maps were all MW2 remastered maps. Fucking humiliating. They didn't make anything new for that thing. They reused the Warzone map like it was reused assets, the Call of Duty game. And reused assets are fine, but like this was just on a next level thing. I just didn't think you could go lower than that, but it appears that you can. And I at least finished MW3, but I got an hour and a half in. You can watch my video, and I went, guys, I'm good. I was talking to the Act Man about it, and because we were just shooting the breeze about this thing, and he put it perfectly, and it kind of put into frame how I've been feeling a lot lately, which is like, I know what shit looks like. I don't have to bend over and be like, yeah, that's shit right there. Like, I need to start trusting my eyes a little bit more because I'm Mr. Playing is believing, and there's truth to that. But there's certain moments like this where I'm like, I know it's an hour and a half, but like, did I really? Like, damn, dude. Like,
good.
The main thing I do it for is the awareness. It's like, you need to know this is good. You need to know this is bad. So that justifies it, but he just put it perfectly. He was like, you don't need to bend over to know it's shit. Like, you can look at shit and be like, yeah, that's shit. And I really do think that's the case with Black Ops 7. And I know what Actman is cooking in response to this. And I think his idea is really smart of what he's going to do instead of playing the game. So I'm excited to see that video. But yeah, dude, I dove in and it just, that combined with like the AI mess around it, it's like the series feels like it's in some sort of transitionary stage. Like the best things you can say about this game right now are thanks to Black Ops 6. Like, the omnidirectional movement system's here. That shit still feels awesome. Pointing and shooting your guns in Black Ops 7 feels great, as Call of Duty's always felt like a great shooter. But this game is sorely lacking in identity outside of just being weird. But I don't say that lightly. I mean, I played Call of Duty my entire life, like many people listening to the show, like UCOG, and there's been highs and lows. There's been games I thought I hated, like Call of Duty Ghosts, that I went, I overhated that one a little bit. There's ones that I definitely hated when I was younger, and I still hate, like the original MW3, funny enough. But there's also the classics that I think back to: World at War, COD 4, list goes on. Like, this is a series that, for all the jabs we make at it, it's really important. And I just think when it comes around with something like this, I'm like, and this is going to be the number one selling game of the year, that makes you feel a little uneasy, So we could do better than this. And I really hope whatever transitionary phase they're going through with Call of Duty right now, where like 1 out of your last 3 have been good, that they pick it up and do something better. And I think the time for the whole Black Ops thing, as someone who Black Ops 1, bro, my God, I love that game so much. Easily my biggest run with competitive Call of Duty, but dude, I think it's time. 7 Black Ops later, I think it's time to think of something new. Because Black Ops was just an exciting idea. Like, they were exploring this new type of operative in war times that none of us had really heard of at that point. It was new. It was fresh. It wasn't modern warfare, but it wasn't World War II.
Right.
It was this sweet spot.
Yes.
We need to find that again. We need, I don't know what that is, because they've gone to the future.
I know, they've done so much.
Prehistoric era warfare. I don't know.
Jesus, it's tough. So this is the problem, right? With annualization, right? Which is like, you have to crank them out. Stagnation. You know what I'm saying? You get the stagnation. But yeah, that sucks to hear. But I've heard similar things from people. I'm just mad at you that you didn't play 6, though. I'm still furious with you. Like, bro, 6 was that's fire. Fair. You didn't play it. I'm like, that's the
fair.
one.
Yeah, that's fair. And I will. I don't want to overpromise, but I want to right that wrong, because I'm like, this part of me is like, okay, Matt, like, you got your rocks off on shitting on this stuff. You're not looking for that, but like, bro, play a good one. Like I've done it with all these other things that I've played where I'm like, I got to get in touch with the good part of this franchise to remind myself. I played a lot of its multiplayer and had fun with it, though, to be fair. But yeah. So yeah, I played an hour and a half of that. I'm continuing to work on Digimon Story Time Stranger. I'm very close to the end. I thought I'd be done by this point, but the game's really picked up with some things that we're doing with it. And so I just got taken away by that, plus some writing, some hires and all that stuff. So I thought Digimon would be done, but unfortunately not, because my time split was between that and this other game I've been playing a lot. It's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'm back. I'm in full force this time. I've dabbled, but like, I'm in Gutenberg, and what I did was I spent a few 5-hour sessions really greasing the wheels again, because bro, the thing that I fight with this game at times, man. I really do. Not in a bad way, but like, every time I come back, I'm like, I'm so excited, but this game beats the fucking shit out of me every time, mercilessly. And I'm like, okay, I gotta remember all the combat again. All right, I gotta fast travel. I gotta eat. Like, all this stuff comes at you, and you're like, but once you get into that groove, it hits like nothing different. Now, gotta shout out my boy Locke, because I'm embarrassed to admit this one.
Talk to me. What would Locke hit you up with?
I sent him a video because I'm getting rinsed in combat, and I'm starting to get annoyed, because I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I unlocked this Master Strike, and I'm going to self-tell here, because I'll tell you all what I was doing versus what was happening. I'm like, I'm hitting the perfect block time. I'm parrying. I see the sword come up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to attack right there. Isn't that how it's done? So Locke's played like almost 200 hours of this game. So I'm just coming to him like, look at my gameplay. What am I doing wrong here? Because I said, talking to me like I'm a fucking idiot. I know it's me. I said, I'm not blaming the game. I know it's me. And he's like, oh, when you want a Master Strike, you hit the attack button.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, so again, totally my fault. But now the combat's been trivialized a little bit.
Now it's easy as hell.
Yeah, now I'm just like, yeah, out of the way. Like, bro,
I get the special animation when you poking them and doing it.
bro, I'm rinsing whole tournaments now, but I'm having much more fun. I gotta be real. Master Strike, thank you, Master Tomcat.
Thank you, Master Tomcat. I sent you that way for a reason, bro. Yeah. I had the same problem as you. I was getting rinsed. I was just like, I'm just terrible at this. And I went there, and that's what it opened up. I used the attack, and you go the opposite of whatever they were doing, and it's like almost like an instant counter, and it helps me. But sorry, continue.
No, you're good. Yeah, and if I had a light complaint about KCD2, it's like whatever Warhorse does next. This combat system is very unique, but I really hope they do something else. I tolerate the combat. It's cool that it's dedicated to realism, but like if they're going like a lot of people are like, oh, they're gonna do. It would be cool if they did Vikings next. I'm like, that's got to be visceral. That's got to be high impact. That's got to be fast, bro, and that's got to be like For Honor style, maybe not like what this is, man. It's the one element of the game that really holds me back. It's that in the setting. If I'm truly honest with myself, I love KCD2. Probably top 3 game of the year for me.
Okay.
I'm not jiving with Bohemia as much. Like I just, it's a point in history I just don't care about enough, you know?
Oh, from a historical loving standpoint.
Yeah, and the characters and stuff. It's like an Assassin's Creed game, if you will, set in a time period I don't care about.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's the only 2 things I really have that aren't even against the game, because I still love some of the characters within it. Like, of course, Hans and Henry are the stars of this whole show. But, you know, that's like the main thing that I wrestle with. But everything else, man, and these pale in comparison, like, the writing, the freedom of choice, this is low-key the best stealth game of the year.
Yeah, stealth is
I love
amazing.
breaking into shit. I love stealing shit. I love making Henry do evil shit.
Yes.
Dude, it's so much fun watching this guy be an asshole because he sounds so kind-hearted that when I'm like out here and I'm in the mines and these guys are like, whoa, you don't have to tell everyone about our silver mint mine. Here's a little groschen for you.
Yes.
It's on the house. And so I take his money and I'm like, okay. He's like, great. Have a nice day. And then the game is so smart to give me the option of like, thanks, you too. Or, oh, no. I'm going to kill you now. Thanks for the money. And that's what I love. So I kill everybody. And this guy, and then I go up to this one guy. He's like, wait. If you at least let me live, take his ass out too. He's got another 1,000 on him. I go back to the quest giver. He's like, Henry, why would you do that? But bro, if we kept that mint mine alive, you and I could. And I'm like, you're a criminal too?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Fucking amazing. I love it so much, dude. So yeah, the game kicks a ton of ass. But then Warhorse hits me up. And hang on one sec. I gotta shut my door. My dog's in.
No, you good. He's handling the door. But no, I'm with him on this, man. Like, it's just what makes KCD so special. All those moments, bro.
Dude. So then Warhorse hits me up and they're like, we got the next DLC. Now, full transparency, this video I made on the DLC was sponsored. They asked me just to cover it. Yeah. It's got a mixed rating on Steam. I talked about and how like a lot of the reviews are fair. Like a lot of people are like, this is too short. This is how they ended KCD2. Too much walking, too much forced stealth. I don't like this that much. Bro, as I led into this conversation with, as someone who's not a big fan of KCD2's combat, you gave me a DLC with just walking, talking, stealthing.
I love stealth in this game.
Bro, I'm all over Mysteria Ecclesiae. All right, so the setup is this. You're helping out the royal physician, and there's a disease, potentially the plague, that is ruining the Sedlitz Monastery. Now, this DLC takes you to a whole new map.
Oh, it's a new area. Okay.
Yeah, it's a new area. So immediately I'm like, oh, Bethesda Game Studios vibes, like taking me to Point Lookout, like taking me to a whole new region. And dude, this monastery is beautiful. It's huge, like true to life. Like you look up and there's like 40,000 Henrys between you and that ceiling. Like they've really awe-inspiring job with the architecture. Looks beautiful, which the whole game already does. But this was like really a standout, like, damn. And the way I'd sell it to you, Cog, here's how I'm going to get you back on KCD2. Imagine if Warhorse played Pentiment and said, we want to make an experience like that within KCD2. That's what this is. So you go to Sedlitz Monastery and you're helping the royal physician trying to figure out what this illness is, where did it come from? And as it progresses, certain things change. It's on a more forced schedule. Like obviously, KCD2 lets you fail certain things. You could still fail this DLC. Don't get it twisted. But KCD2's Mysteria Ecclesiae DLC, like there's phases of the day. Like if I went to go sleep, Henry will be like, I can't do that right now. I need to do this. Which it's funny because I get why they did it. It was clearly a creative choice because they either went, well, you could spend $15 almost on this thing and fail like that if you decide to go to sleep.
Right.
Or we can lock it into time periods and let you fail by your own decisions.
Got it.
And so I get why they did it this way because I think while a lot of fans are reasonably upset about it, I think it would have been more disastrous if you could have just like, hypothetically, of course, like gone to sleep, rested, waited, something went wrong with Henry and now you failed the DLC because of it.
Yeah.
So it's more like rigid. It's 6 quest lines. They kind of take place during different phases of the day. Again, I do feel like there's a bit of a missed opportunity of like, man, with this whole disease spreading, like times of the essence, real-time schedules, like all the NPCs have in KCD2 would have worked really well here. But I don't think it ruins it. It's shorter for sure, which I also get why some people are disappointed by that. But for me, like, again, it's the walking, the talking, the unique solutions, the mystery, and also some of the themes that they explore with religion. This takes place in a monastery. I really do think it's a great quest line. My main critique of it is like the main villain guy of it all, if you want to call him that, is very obvious.
Gotcha.
Just immediately you're like, that's a bad person. No real hiding it and no real attempt to surprise you, which is a bit of a letdown compared to the other storytelling. But mixed is the right rating because there's a bundle of things I really like about it. There's a bundle of things I do have a couple problems with, but then there's also that mixture of like, but some of this speaks more to me. Like, I don't want a whole DLC based around fighting in a game that I'm not really crazy about the fighting in, and I do 200 hours of fighting already. Like, I like that as it complements the experience well, that you go over here, the game warns you very well, which I remember with a woman's lot, you can like in the first game, pick a dialogue option. It's like, you're in this 4-hour storyline now. That was a problem that people hated that one for the story as well. But like people hated that one. And now this game really warns you in advance. They're like, hey, you're about to leave. When you leave, you can't come back. Are you sure you want to do this? So saw some learnings in there, but overall, I think it complements the game well. It's not like a Fallout 4 to Far Harbor or a Witcher 3 to Blood and Wine, like see you later. I would love to see them swing harder, but it feels like they're more eager to move on to what they're doing next. And I haven't played the other DLC to compare, but I enjoyed this. I thought it was great, and so I finished it, swung right back into my main playthrough, and I'm picking up where I left off. So
nice.
Just been loving my time with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and finally think I'm going to finish it by like early December.
I need that reaction to that. I'm curious to see how you feel about that ending of that game. Quick question, because one of the complaints about base KCD was no churches, no going into. Do you think they satiated that with this? Because that people were like, yo, that was one of the coolest things of that time period that the base game didn't allow you to really enter or do.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think they did a serviceable job because this church is under construction. So it's not like you see people coming and going. So for me, it's like, I think in the terms of the architecture and its kind of place in this world, yes. Okay. But in the terms of like seeing the active church and civilians coming and going like you'd expect them to, they did miss out on that.
Okay.
And that's kind of not really remedied here at all.
Okay. Fair enough. What else you got?
Well, this last game I've been playing, man, perhaps the best of them all. I kid. But yeah, man, as a huge SpongeBob fan, I don't care if I turn 30 this year. I'm not creepy Maddie at the park. Not yet. I always like to see what's going on with these SpongeBob video games, Cog, because a big part of my childhood was SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Classic.
Yeah. One of the best 3D platformers of my era. Definitely didn't reinvent the wheel or anything like that, but was just, as a fan of the show, way better than it had any right to be, because SpongeBob's no stranger to great video games, but Battle for Bikini Bottom let you go into every building in Bikini Bottom that you were aware of in the show. And that just fan service is still to this day incredible. I still go back to that game. It really is that good. They've done a great job carrying it forward. The recent SpongeBob 3D platformer, I guess after that was we got to like Creature the Krusty Krab movie game. They did some like Super Pants one that sucked ass, but then we get into Truth or Square, right? Truth or Square is like the 360 one. That's really good. But then it's Purple Lamp's turn. They remake Battle for Bikini Bottom, do an awesome job with it. Now they're well equipped to make their own SpongeBob 3D platformer. They make Cosmic Shake, and you could see the sensibilities of Battle for Bikini Bottom, but they flirt with some interesting ideas. They're like, hey, you know, it's kind of Dark Souls inspired in its level design, where like as you complete different realities in the SpongeBob universe, parts of Bikini Bottom become unlocked, and they start to connect and web together. And you kind of get, by the end of the game, this small open world SpongeBob game that has all these different levels. And it was amazing. I was like, this is exactly what I wanted. Nothing like Game of the Year, but that's what I love about these games is they're not trying to break new ground or become Game of the Year. To simply put it, this new SpongeBob 3D platformer in Titans of the Tide is more of the same. Doesn't reinvent the wheel, but does a good enough job. You got these open hub levels, tons of collectibles to find within them, very simple 3D platforming, very simple combat. I think it's awesome. I really do, because the thing that I take seriously, as you know, Cog, is I think of the games I grew up with, and I had a lot of tie-in bullshit thrown my way, as I always talk about on Retro Rebound. Much of those were great. I think of Star Wars Episode 3, for example, and I'm like, hell yeah. Lego Star Wars is another example. Like, that's built upon tying into the movies. So there's tie-in experiences that are great. Batman Vengeance is another one I loved growing up. But then there's a lot of shit, dude. There's a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Catwoman, the list goes on. All of the Nickelodeon games, the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius video game, Fairly Odd Parents, Breaking the Rules. It's just a lot of crap. But SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom stood head and shoulders above the rest. It's kind of like, if I were to, before I wrap up my thoughts, draw a comparison. You know how like Spider-Man 2 came out in 2005? Yeah. And every single time a Spider-Man game came afterwards, they tried to bring those ideas from that game. Yeah. And even to this day, Insomniac does Spider-Man 2 in like 2023, and they still are taking ideas from that game. And that's what Battle for Bikini Bottom is. Like, you just can't escape. It's a fount of incredible ideas. And so Titans of the Tide is just taking that formula and not doing anything new with it. Like, you get to play as SpongeBob and Patrick. You can flip between the two whenever you want. They have their own small suite of abilities. Like, Patrick can reach out and pull objects down. He can lift heavy objects. SpongeBob can karate kick things in the distance. Solid stuff. It's a $35 title on Steam, $40 anywhere else. That's the same price you were paying for Cosmic Shake. And I say all this because, again, for the parents out there listening, Purple Lamp's one of the good ones. I don't think they take advantage of the fact that they clearly have a younger fan base like Game Mill Entertainment, who fucking scams the shit out of kids. Like, here's your new crappy Avatar game. I mean, the Walking Dead video game, Skull Island, Rise of Kong, like the TMNT games, that company is awful. The LJN of our times, truly. And Purple Lamp and THQ Nordic do great work with SpongeBob. So if you're looking for a game for the kiddo who loves SpongeBob, this is a very safe pickup. So is Cosmic Shake. So is the Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated game. These are all great choices, but it just makes me happy to see when I go into this, I'm like, okay, they're doing good. The fact that it's more of the same is a little like, all right, I want them to try something new or more ambitious with this next SpongeBob game that they inevitably do. But I mean, dude, they got David Hasselhoff back. Nice open hub areas, great amount of collectibles, but it just doesn't reinvent the wheel. Like, it's the same thing. Like in Cosmic Shake, you got these collectibles and then you'd spend them on costumes. Same thing happens in Titans of the Tide. But I mean, the original voice actors and actresses are back. It's awesome to hear them reprising their roles. The humor is great. They still have like the awkward, illustrated, ugly close-ups that the TV show has that they use in the game. So yeah, man, like you could tell there are fans of these shows and movies that are making these games, and they did a good job. They're doing good work here. So Titans of the Tide gets a thumbs up from me. Definitely a good Christmas gift for the kiddo. Or if you want to prank a friend who likes 3D platformers and really surprise them with a decent one, put them on a SpongeBob game.
All right.
Not a bad option.
Titans of the Tide, more the same, but sticking to the essence is what I'm getting. And that's good. That's always good.
All right, Cog, we time traveled a little bit here. Xbox partner preview came and went. Good show. I thought it was pretty good, honestly. Like there was a lot of stuff I didn't expect to like. I mean, there's one in here that I was like, you know what I'm talking about. I was like,
I know which one it is.
I said, son of a bitch, that looks good. I hate that looks good. But yeah, dude, I thought this is honestly really good. Like everything there outside of one game, I was really interested in. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the general consensus is online, but like I was very happy with this one. I thought they did a great job, great pace. Mm-hmm. Everything there was fresh to me, or something I wanted to date on, but it didn't feel over reliant on just updating you on old things. Like it felt like a good mixture of new reveals, things I hadn't seen in a while, smaller games that hadn't gotten a lot of limelight, so they felt new. But I liked it a lot. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I felt solid. I was one of those, we're in the weird and quirky phase.
Yeah.
But like there was some stuff, one in particular that really, I was like, yo, what is that? And I'm like, I think I'm in. I was like, yeah, it was one in particular. But yeah, it was a couple joints in there. And I was like, all right. And I felt like the horror community got some love as well. So some stuff there. But yeah, we got stuff to talk about.
We do. Let's go in order, Cog. We'll go in the same order that we saw everything. First off, all games that were shown during this partner preview were Xbox Play Anywhere, which I thought was nice to see. Like Jez Corden had reported, that they were going to be pushing that one. The first game that we saw was Armistice. Armistice was a new game reveal. It was the world premiere of this one. It's a third-person roguelite shooter from Counterplay Games, where you play as a masked warrior and you defeat the demonic horrors wandering the ruins of Paris. So this is coming out 2026. It's going to be day one on Game Pass. So I thought this one was a great start. I for a brief moment, because we knew THQ Nordic was going to be here, and they were definitely here. I was like, oh, is this Darksiders? Like, I just, based on the character's get up and his color scheme and like the 4 people summoning someone from like hell, basically, I was like, this can't be Darksiders. Fortunately, it was not. I would have had complaints at that point. But this is a horror inspired third person shooter. I thought looked pretty solid. What'd you think?
Same. I was like, this was a great start off, because I was like, okay, what is this? And then I love the character design. So I was like, all right, let me see what's going on. And then they doing a little seance thing. In the facial animations,
look good.
Were ridiculous to me. I was like, damn. So yeah, this was a great start. I thought this looked really solid. I'm like, okay, you have my attention. Yeah, I must admit.
Agreed.
I like the way this looked.
Agreed. And you put it perfectly that like horror got a lot of love, because the next game we got, I was like, oh, more horror style stuff. It was called The Mound Omen of Cthulhu. This is coming out summer 2026. It's going to be available on the series consoles. No mention in the Xbox Wire write-up of anything PC related, which is important to point out, because everything else was mostly pointing to PC here. But they describe it as an expedition that arrives on a mysterious coastline and an upcoming co-op horror game. I loved in the part of this trailer where you're like shooting, it was like some monster, and then it turns out to be one of your teammates. I thought that was really interesting. But obviously emphasis on the word co-op here. They said, inspired by the inexplicable unrealities of H.P. Lovecraft's original stories, The Mound challenges players to work together, navigate shifting perspectives of a reality to survive the horrors and uncover the treasures that lie within. I mean, right away, I knew this had to be multiplayer because no one was talking in the trailer. I was like, oh, there's no like in a world. And so I figured, but I thought this looked pretty solid. Surprising, given it's like co-op push and it's in the partner preview, that this wasn't in Game Pass. But maybe it'll end up there anyway. But I thought also this looked pretty solid. The premise was interesting. The environments looked good. Didn't get a whole lot of gameplay, but I thought it looked interesting enough. The Cthulhu, H.P. Lovecraft universe stuff, I've never really dove deep into it all. So I can't really say too much on it, but I'm curious if you got more to say on The Mound Omen of Cthulhu.
Nacon, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that What about our people? What was it? Focus Home. Did they change their name to them? I'm trying to think.
No.
Okay, Nacon's different, right?
Yeah, Nacon's different.
Okay. Because I don't know. I just felt like a lot of Focus Home energy with this particular one for some reason.
Focus Home has done, I think, Cthulhu stuff.
That's why it was in my head. Yes.
They also done a lot of Warhammer stuff.
Correct. You're right. You're right. No, this looks like this. I was like, what's going on with Evil Sea of Thieves? I was like, what's this dark? Is evil?
Evil Sea of Thieves.
I was like, what's happening? Because at first I thought it was like a pirate game because the way they started, but the universe looked good. The time period looks cool. We just got to see how like the mechanics and everything is, when it comes together. But I thought, like you said, the premise of what I saw looked solid. So I'm like, all right, we'll see where we go with it. I got to see how they do a 4-player kind of adventure in that way. But good foundation. I was like, all right, you got one of those. You got my attention. I want to know more.
Yeah, I agree. The next game we saw was Dave the Diver. It's coming to Xbox. It's available right now. Few shadow drops are available today. There were 3 of them, in fact, which I did not expect at all. Shout out to our friend Jason Polanski. He made today a little more difficult for us by providing access to Total Chaos, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Dave the Diver is out now on Xbox. And then they announced another thing for Dave the Diver is In the Jungle, which is arriving early 2026. It's DLC for the game. And so they describe it on the Xbox Wire as a new expansion that sees our titular marine hero Dave exploring solid ground, riding through the jungle settlements and doing battle against a fierce giant crocodile. Again, available today on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox on PC and cloud, and optimized for handheld devices. But The Jungle is arriving early 2026. This is a game I feel has my name written all over it, but I have yet to try it out. But it looks good. It does look good. And every time it pops up, I'm like, that'd be a fun one to play one day. But what did you think about what we saw with Dave the Diver?
Yeah, this is a big get. Because I remember, shout out to Tiger Travis, shout out T Bontis. They were huge Dave the Diver guys. They were like, Cog, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? And I was like, this is a weird looking game. But yeah, I remember this was, again, I think exclusive for a while. So this is a big get. And then obviously I remember they did the Ichiban DLC.
Oh yeah, so I forgot they did that.
Then all right, they continue to support it. And what I thought was interesting was how they had him playing like on a Rogue Ally kind of thing. I don't understand what's up with the fat belly shark though. Like you saw like the sharks and the crocodiles, everybody's eating good. I'm like, all right, I don't know what's going on here.
It's a deep sea RPG. I think it's got like sushi, like a lot of sushi fish mechanics in it. I don't know, man. That might be why they might be eating good out there.
They eat good out there, but like I feel like that's a perfect handheld game. So now I'm interested. Obviously, it's optimized stuff like that. But yeah, this is a big get for them for sure.
Yeah, this next one was one of the best games of the show to me personally. That was Crowsworn. This is launching on Series X and S, PC, cloud. It'll be on day one with Game Pass Ultimate specifically. But this was very, if you will, Hollow Knight-like. Definitely timed their announcement well, coming after that wave of players. Maybe they're looking for more. But I got to play Hollow Knight, obviously, to solidify my opinion. But I'm like a big, the universe and the setting have to pull me in. Kind of talked about that a bit with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on how that can really shape my true love of a series. Like I think of Fallout, of course, like, that setting and everything matters so much. Crowsworn looks like, this kind of plague doctor mask with the scythe and everything. Cool factor. It looked silky smooth in combat. Like, I'm not a big Metroidvania guy. In fact, there's a lot of times I find the genre incredibly frustrating. But this is one where, sometimes that you have that breakthrough drug is what I like to call it, right? The gateway drug. And that's what this looks like to me. This looks like the kind of, all right, let me give this one a shot. So I liked what I saw with Crowsworn a lot. Shame there was no release window at all, but definitely one I'll be keeping my eye on. How about you?
Yeah, he looked like trench coat Hollow Knight. Like your man was smooth with it. You know what I'm saying? What was making me laugh was when they would put him in like these trade cars and then he'd pull out the gun. And I'm like, it was just a weird thing. And I was like, it just looks cool. But yeah, this game just oozes like, hey, if you like that genre, and you still have an itch, for Hollow Knight type gameplay, this looks like that. The art style looked amazing. I just it's funny what you said. Sometimes it takes a character design and the atmosphere for me to like something where you can have a same game with a different, and it won't resonate. But something about the art style and what they're doing here resonated with me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it looks just so good. So stylish.
Yes,
great pickup. The next game we saw, Echo Generation 2 got revealed. Turn-based, once again, very 90s inspired, but they're also looking at 80s movies and clearly taking inspiration from those. I never played the first Echo Generation. I've only watched the first season of Stranger Things, which I know this franchise clearly like pulls from a lot. So I never had like a strong connection with its touchstones. But I thought this like combat wise, like the turn-based and the cards and stuff. I mean, that's like I know myself well enough. Like there's multiple games in here that the switch in my brain flipped when I saw that combat. And I don't know if this is one I'll play because I have a love-hate relationship with like the voxel art style, the kind of blocky. Yeah. Like there's some games that look really good. I think I want to say the game is Ravenlock or something like that. That might have been a 2023 game, but that looked really good. But there's some like this that are so blocky. There's another game on this list that is so blocky, but it's such a cool premise. I was like, I'm in. But it can throw me off again. It's an aesthetic thing, but I thought the game overall looked pretty good. And this is coming to Game Pass as well, which the first Echo Generation did. So, Cog, your thoughts on Echo Generation 2?
Yeah, I've never heard of this franchise. I mean, when we was watching it, Attic was putting me on, and he said good things about the first one, and it looked cool. I mean, I think for me, where they got me is kind of like the turn-based / card. Because now I'm thinking about my Marvel, my Midnight Suns kind of bag. And I am with you normally with that art style. It generally doesn't do well for me, but I like the way this came off. So I'm like, I'm willing to give you a chance based on what I see. So it looked cool. It looked interesting. Once you do 80s and 90s sensibilities in it, now you kind of luring the old heads in for me. So yeah.
All right, let's talk about this next one. Phil Spencer, man. He just had to get his grubby mitts all over this friggin' showcase. This was the push from him. He's like, we have to have this in Game Pass. We have to have this in Play Anywhere. And it is the follow-up to Vampire Survivors. It is Vampire Crawlers, a first-person deck-building roguelike dungeon crawler. Dude, and this shit looks so good.
This looks good.
No, dude. I saw this and I was like, this looks exactly like what I want. Like, I hate autoplay games.
Yeah.
I've talked about that a lot. I just, the idle games, Loop Hero, Vampire Survivors, Mega Bonk. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to slander. Have your fun. I just can't get with I like watching things happen and explode on screen. Like, it's literally gaming's response to TikTok. And I think it's a smart business strategy, but this looks like something I can play, man. And I'm like, yeah, this looks awesome. So I will say I am in. I will play this one because I think it looks really cool. Again, day one with Game Pass coming to Xbox Series consoles, PC, cloud. This is early, or no, sorry, not early. I was reading the wrong date. This is 2026. But I know this is Phil's most anticipated game already, no doubt about it. Cog, your thoughts on Vampire Crawlers?
Very surprised by this. They clearly doing well over there.
Yes.
They are doing quite well.
They're doing so well that they did a full 3D cutscene to make fun of a big story. And I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, because I got fooled. I was like, oh, what's this? I was like, Vampire, this is a different type of budget if they make it.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, are they going to try to swing with something big budget? And then when they went to this, I went, nice.
There we go. Yeah, it looks cool. And first person deck building. I gotta get my hands on to see where they go with it. But as a person who slandered this game, or the franchise, I have to admit I've come full circle, and this will satiate those who again want more of the interactivity and as opposed to the autoplay, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
But sometimes I know, in my defense, with the autoplay, it's just it's a palate cleanse. It's like, okay, I'm going to turn my brain off it's the end of the night kind of thing. But no, this gonna go towards your sensibilities now. So
yeah,
I like
dude,
that.
I'm in. I'm very excited about it because I love games like Slay the Spire. Like I do love deck builders. Those are a lot of fun to me. So they what I can admit with Vampire Survivors is they obviously get like upgrades, that feeling like progression. But now I get to actually play that. So I'm excited. I feel like I have been answered with all of this. See, y'all come for me for my slander, but then look what the dev does, right? Look how they didn't do Vampire Survivors 2. They followed it up with something you get to play. They themselves know. All right. Great looking game. 007 First Light shows up. This was one of the ones I really wanted to see even more of because I love 007 and I'm very excited for First Light. It's kind of a little disappointing, whatever trailer, just like, hey, there's going to be cars like the Aston Martin here. And so I just, I don't have much to say about this, but it's coming out March 27th. And I guess the big reveal with this is knowing 007 First Light is a Play Anywhere title. So there is that. But do you have any thoughts on the vehicle that we saw in this?
Yeah, I'm just like, this is literally just a flex. We're Aston Martin. We get it. 007, you got the name, the license. You just wanted to show, hey, this thing is a Play Anywhere title. That's it. I didn't get anything from this trailer similar to you. But again, just more of a flex that they have a big kind of AAA kind of game that's going to be Play Anywhere. Yeah.
Roadside Research came up next here. And it's a comedic co-op simulator is how they define it, where they said you'll do just that with the aim of gathering intelligence on humans. Day to day, you'll be responsible for running the shop, stocking shelves, and appearing normal while secretly conducting research on your customers. However, if you arouse too much suspicion, the government will show up, jeopardizing your earthly mission. It looks like great fun, especially with friends. This is day one with Game Pass Ultimate. It's coming Q1 2026, so next year. Series X and S, PC, cloud, and this is another one, dude. I was like, I like this. Like this looks, it looks goofy, but I love the mixture of like a sim element with sort of like light tension of like don't fuck up or the government will come check us out. I think this game, sincerely, I think if this game pans out how it's going in my head, I think this could be really big. Like I think it's a streamer kind of game where people are going to play together and have these like dynamic, like, dude, just fucking cost us everything. Like, I think it can be cool like that. So I'm interested to see how it develops. I want to see more gameplay on it, but the premise sounds awesome. What do you think of Roadside Research?
I'm not there yet. Okay. It's just, I don't know. For whatever reason, I didn't know what it was at first. And I was like, is this like a supermarket simulator? Like, I didn't know what was going on at first.
I thought so for a sec too.
Yeah. But then it's like, okay, I see that you're aliens. The premise is interesting. I just need to see more, but I will give you this. It's one of those games that may not be for me, but I could see if they land the gameplay, it taking off in that kind of manner. So, I reserve judgment. I don't know if it's for me just yet, but, we'll see.
Okay. Well, this next one here, Cog, was another interesting one. Total Chaos. It's a shadow drop from the creator of Turbo Overkill, which is a beloved first-person shooter. They describe it as a first-person survival horror brimming with mysteries to solve and monsters to kill, avoid, and scream at. You'll scavenge materials to create makeshift weapons and battle against horrific creatures as you unfurl a nightmare narrative. This is, again, available right now. It's on Series X and S, Cloud, and Game Pass. So day one Game Pass shadow drop. And I should have checked the price before I redeem my Steam code here, but I'm curious how much this actually is. Trying to find the price tag here on the storefront. Let's see if the Steam actually has it. It's a $25 title.
Oh, wow.
So not too bad. And it's got Akira Yamaoka in it, by the way. I just want to shout that out there. This is one of my goats because this is the man behind the Silent Hill soundtrack, and he still fucking got it. So I immediately was like, oh, this looks really good. And then Jason texts us in our little group chat. And he's like, Dukes. I picture him with his like suit, like, dude, hello. You may have seen a little shadow drop from us. Yeah. Because I saw Atari and I thought of him right away. I was like, I'm gonna text him after this. He's like, you may have seen a little shadow drop from us. He's like, would you be interested in partaking and playing a little Total Chaos? And I was like, yes. So please. I'm all over it. Got it installed. Definitely going to check this one out now that it's funny. Between the time you and I last talked, I have an update on what we're playing. I finished Digimon last night. So
finished it. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm done. So I actually I'm like, okay, work on Kingdom Come, but here's Total Chaos. All right. That's why I asked Jason, we were texting our group chat just for a little background info, where my head's at. I'm looking at shorter games moving forward for the rest of the year because I got KCD 2. I just beat a 60-hour JRPG. I think I'm cooked on long games for the rest of the year. I want your 20 hours and under, which is what Jason said this was. You got me. I'm in. So, sorry, I talked up a storm there. What did you think of Total Chaos?
Uncomfortable the game. Yeah. Like that joke. That's that atmospheric, and then you have the tension with the horror. And I felt like, okay, this looks good. It's weird. It's whenever a game makes me feel that uncomfortable feeling like Silent Hill, that I know it's going to play on those synapses. Now, I don't know if I got the heart to do this one. I don't know if I need this right now, but it looks good. It looks good. But I'm going to holler at Jace, see what's going on. Yeah. But it did look good.
Right on. Oh, this next one we saw was Reanimal. This is arriving February 13th, 2026. I believe you told me you played the demo for this.
Yes,
I did as well.
Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one, I think. This is from the creators of Little Nightmares, and it's a co-op horror game. And I've not played Little Nightmares, but this was definitely a good sales pitch for that game.
Oh,
I was like, whoa, Reanimal feels different. And so again, February 2026, it's coming out the 13th. A perfect game to spend with just before Valentine's Day with a loved one. But Cog, I thought this continues to look awesome, and what I played was very convincing. I recommend people check out the demo. They re-promoted it in the trailer. But what did you think of what we saw and the release date?
Yeah, we got a release date. Look, man, Tarsha, they're killing it. That game is so much fun to watch and work together with someone. And then they go in that whole scared together theme. Yeah. I love that aspect. They're doing couch co-op. They're doing online co-op. I believe it's cross progression with multiple platforms as well. The dev really impressed me. The more I saw of the game and the more he described what it's capable of doing, I was really impressed. So that game is on my radar for sure. And as a person who missed out on Little Nightmares as well early, and now coming onto it late and seeing where they've evolved the formula, like this game is totally my style of game.
Yeah. You know what really did win me over? Because I just talked about how Echo Generation, not really big on the art style. But this game, Erosion, bro, I feel like this is really interesting. So it's an isometric action game, and I just kept trying to slander this game in my brain. Like first time I saw it, voxel. But then I start to get into the themes, and I'm like, oh, it's a Hades-like. But no, it's more like kind of Weird West, where it's that sort of isometric action style game. It's set in a stylish Western-themed voxel world, and the mechanic in this game, which they show at the end of the trailer with a very, I think, powerful bit of imagery, as you see the kid and the teenager, then the grown up, and then the old lady, and sort of gradually falls into this main character's arms. They say when you die, you respawn 10 years later. In the time that passes, the world around you has changed and other characters have gotten older, creating urgency to find out what you're looking for. So this is coming to Xbox Series consoles, PC, cloud, and Game Pass. And that's next year. But they are launching in early access with the game preview program spring 2026. That'll be on PC. So won't have to wait too long to get your hands on that one. But I love the name, how well it works with the theme. Like the O in Erosion is a clock. But yeah, again, like you did the whole bouncing thing. Yeah, the art style is like, but the themes and the ideas and the mechanics definitely won me over. I was like, all right, this got that weird look to it, but these are the types of games. I think what I liked about the showcase is these are the types of games I'm looking for next year. I've spent so long neglecting them. Like I talked about, this year has been like a wake up call of I need to spend the time better. Even when I think I'm doing better, I need to really assess, is that the truly right thing to do? And so this is one of those types of games where I'm like, yeah, I want to embrace this sort of stuff. So pretty excited about this one. What did you think of it?
Very unique game. I was trying to put my finger on what type of game is it as I was watching more and more of it. Now I admit I'm similar to you early. Like I wasn't a fan of this voxel specific thing at first. I was like, and then I was not liking the bounce. I ain't go for the bounce was getting on my nerves at first. I was like, yeah, it's like a little bow-legged cowboy thing going on. I was like, all right, I don't know about this. But as it kept going on, I'm like, yo, they're doing some real unique, cool kind of things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then once now, I didn't even know about now reading it. I didn't know about this whole when you die, respawn 10 years later.
Yeah.
Things that's dope.
I
didn't know that. So now I'm like, all right, you're doing enough cool things that I got to at least pay attention to you and see what's going on. So you have my attention.
Does Zoopunk have your attention? So this is from the, what was this from? This is from TI Games. And it's set within the universe of Fist, forged in Shadow Torch, which people may remember was a Metroidvania game. It was a kind of 3D like Metroidvania game. It got, if I remember correctly, kind of mixed reviews. Some people really liked it. Some people were on it. Some people thought it lacked a lot of polish. But to me, this is like, I'm interested in the universe. I'm not going to lie, because of Sly Cooper, I'm like, yeah, dude, if Sly was a thug, if Sly, Bentley, and Murray were thugs, like, this is what you got here. What I also appreciate about this game, and what I appreciate about a lot of the games I saw here, was the fact that, we'll talk about another game that does this, was that third person action combat that doesn't look like a Souls-like game. I really don't take that for granted anymore. This combat system didn't look great, but I like when I didn't see the lock on and the camera pulls out and you start, circling around your big hulking foe. I was like, oh my God, it's actually just a fucking hack and slash, dude. Hell yeah. So I was just happy to see a little more like classic gaming here. But this game is a ways off, and it definitely looked that way in some aspects. They say it's coming in 2027.
Okay.
So any thoughts on Zoopunk?
This was my game of the show.
Whoa.
Thug Bunny. I was like, yo, Thug Bunny look crazy. So what's going on? Now they got to work on their little engine.
Yeah.
I saw a little framey when they got to the comment on certain things, but it looked so good that I was like, nah, that can't be the game at first. I was like, this is just a cinema. And then when they switched over, I was like, oh no, that's the game. I was like, yo. So I'm about Thug Bunny and his little universe and what's going on out here. See, this is how you get me. This is how you get Creepy Cog to join y'all.
Creepy Cog.
Yeah, like you gotta thug it out. You gotta make it dark. Like that. Yeah. Now you got me. Yeah. Now I can see what's going on with the bunnies and the furries. What's happening? But no,
even the show, I'm so surprised. Yeah, yes. I mean, it definitely had a really cool universe. I was like, this looks interesting.
I'm just intrigued by this art style and these character designs and you know these like animals with human, what they call it, anthropomorphic animals.
Yeah,
I like Thug Bunny. I'm calling it Zoopunk is Thug Bunny. I'm with
Thug Bunny. I'm with
Thug Bunny right now. I'm a support.
Fly on a budget, Thug Bunny. All right, cool. Clover Pit was shown off next. This has been around for a couple of months now, but it's coming to Xbox. It's out today, so it's available on Game Pass Ultimate and Premium. So you don't got to be paying the $30 a month to get in on this one. But yeah, this also introduced a new DLC for it, Unholy Fusion, which they say is on the way. But it's a roguelite where, every spin contributes to your survival. Locked in a room with a slot machine and an ATM, you must play to pay off your debts and not be plunged into the depths below the trapdoor, which you see in the trailer multiple times. Like you're just going down this trapdoor. They said with a host of odd prizes and curious items that can trigger big wins, combos, and boost your luck. Every run ends up different and more compelling than the last. So a little bit of that Balatro flavor to it. Looks good, like definitely just not my type of game. I don't think I haven't even touched Balatro yet, but yeah, it looks good. Definitely good to see it on Game Pass today, so people can go ahead and check it out. But any thoughts, Cog, on Clover Pit?
Solid for people who like that kind of stuff. Just not for me specifically, but I respect the Balatro and the poker guys and your Vegas guys. Yeah, have at it. Say with that.
This was definitely the weirdest reveal of the stream. Hitman World of Assassination shows up, and you're not killing Eminem, but Slim Shady. So They continue to add incredible targets. And so Eminem is helping you hunt his alter ego in Slim Shady. And I thought that was something hilarious. So I don't think they've mentioned when this is dropping, but it is a insane concept. And I don't, have you looked into this world of assassination at all? Because they keep bringing like celebs in, like Conor McGregor was in at one point. Like they keep cycling in these people for you to assassinate, and they create stories around them. It's very live servicey, but I've not tried it out yet. I see a date now. It's coming December 1st for people who are interested. But what did you think of this one?
I was just like, Eminem just getting the bag for no reason. Like, I'm not even hating. Just like, I didn't understand how this came to be. So what I got out of it? I was like, Eminem must be a Hitman fan, and they found out, and they were like, all right, what do we got to do to make this work? That seems to be the vibe, But look, salute to him. Get to kill Slim Shady. The fact that you're working with Mans 47 to go hunt another Eminem is wild to me. So yeah, this to me, I just looked at this. This is a money grab. They use the name. They do what they got to do. Hopefully the game is good, so that kind of thing. But yeah, I think they're in that pocket now where it's just like, I want to know what this budget is. Like, this cannot be.
Yeah, to get Eminem.
To get M in a game? Like, bruh.
Yeah, I'm looking at this like grid for the world of assassination, and just like how much support they have thrown into this thing, and they've really done a good job turning Hitman into like this business strategy that people don't really hate. Like that's not easy to do. Like they've live service the shit out of this thing, but it's weirdly compelling. I got to look into this more because I don't know if it's just like Hitman 3 getting updates or if it's like a separate SKU.
Right.
But yeah, it keeps showing up, and I'm very interested in what they got going on here because I Hitman 3 was my game of the year. That's like, that was one in 2022. That was one of the few years where it was a one and done. Like I played that was like the first game I reviewed of the year, and I went, it's the best game of the year, and nothing topped it.
Man, that's fire, bro.
Yeah. Or 2021 it may have been, not 22. But anyway, just awesome game. Funny partnership.
Yes.
What do we have next here? Oh, Tides of Annihilation. No release date, but this game looks to be picking up where Lost Soul Side let us down. That's for sure. This is a fantasy action game, and the boss fight looked incredible. Just ridiculous phases of them mirroring beneath the map, and just crazy fast-paced action combo system looked very deep. Not totally Devil May Cry style. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Final Fantasy 15 if it was more fluid.
Yeah.
But I thought this looked really good. I've seen it before, but this, when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know. But this second look at it, I think was really good. So I'm in on Tides of Annihilation. Just excited for that release date, which the Xbox Wire post does conclude saying stay tuned for news on a release date. So maybe it's arriving sometime soon. But curious as to what you thought of this one.
Yeah, it looked really good. This looked fantastic. Now is it action or JRPG? I'm still like the genre of it. Did they kind of define what the genre is? Fantasy action adventure. Okay, inspired by Arthurian legend. I thought the cinematics were incredible. The pacing of that fight when they're doing that mirror thing, like they were under the water, whatever the hell they were doing. That joint looks serious. Has my attention. Definitely has my attention. This is a looker, and I felt like I saw it at a PlayStation showcase or something before.
Okay, there was. I don't know if it was a PlayStation showcase, but there was some type of boss fight. It was like 10, 20 minutes of gameplay like they had out there, if I remember correctly, where they showed like levels and exploration. And I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Nier. And so, this has been kicking around for a little bit of time now. But this updated look, I think, looks much, much better.
Yes.
And then the last game that they closed out with was Raji Kali Yuga. They wrote on the Xbox Wire, "We're thrilled to reveal a brand new sequel to Raji, an Ancient Epic, the multi-award winning indie action adventure title set in ancient India. Set 6 years after the original game, Raji Kali Yuga expands on the conflict, portraying not just a war among mortals, but a cosmic struggle involving gods, asuras, and mystical forces. You play as Raji and her younger brother Darsh as dual protagonists that you'll control during different parts of the story. The sequel also makes bold new strides in a new genre, pivoting from the first game's isometric interpretation of ancient India into a full third-person action-adventure game, and we can't wait to see more. This is coming from Nodding Head Games. It's going to Xbox Series consoles, PC, cloud, and it'll launch day one on Game Pass. I've not played the first one, Cog, so I don't know if you have. Okay, you have not. So do you have any thoughts on this one? Because it seemed, I felt like the show closer was actually Tides, just based on how long the boss fight was when they showed up with this. I went like, it felt like someone in the building, this meant something to them, and they kind of were like, we're ending with that. Or they just said, we have to end with a reveal, and this is our biggest one. I'm not sure which way it goes, but there's a demo for Raji and Ancient Epic if people want to check that one out. It's on Steam. I'm looking right now, $6.24. They put it on sale. Offer ends December 3rd. So that's one way to get in. Reviews are very positive on Steam across almost 2,000. So it's looking good. It was self-published as well. So Cog, any thoughts on this one? For me, the trailer reminded me a little bit of Hellblade.
Funny you said that. Yes.
Talking. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of it. I mean, it's very distinct, where they're going with this, obviously Indian focused, cultured kind of thing, very mystic, very gods, but I just couldn't make sense of what the hell was happening.
Yeah, I didn't know what kind of game it was.
So I don't want to go too crazy, but cinematics look cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with you. Like, I thought Tides was the show ender, the All Annihilation joint, and I was like, okay, clearly they're happy about this, but according to what you said, what the first game really did well, right? So yeah, I got to do some more research on it. I thought your man looked like the little boy looked like Indian Atreus, so I was like, all right, I got Atreus over here. He loose now, he outside, and no, I mean, I don't know. I got to see more. I just don't know what stylistically Indian culture. Yes, I'm feeling that part. I just need to know what the core gameplay loop is before I can judge it.
Right on. Well, that was the partner preview. They ended it by saying the full screen experience is coming to PC soon. So people can look forward to that optimized experience that handheld users already have on the Xbox Ally. But overall, again, I thought it was a great show. Like, I really felt there was a lot of good shit here, a lot of interesting reveals. And I don't know if it's just like me softening up on these shows, but like, I haven't hated a lot of these showcases lately. Like, I didn't hate State of Play Japan like a lot of people did, or like it's one of the worst things they did. I didn't hate the State of Play before that. Like I've been kind of enjoying this more niche pocket. And I thought Xbox did a great job here, especially we're right in front of the Game Awards. That usually, I think, lowers the expectations of like, if you have a choice between these two platforms, let's be honest, it's going to the Game Awards because just way millions more eyes. So for Xbox to have so many reveals and gems here, I was very pleased by big release dates too. So they did a good job, I think, keeping me interested, and I enjoyed it. So curious as to your final thoughts on the showcase, Cog.
Yeah, very solid. Just showed me that they have a plethora of titles. The fact that they had enough for a showcase like this, and what you said is also accurate in the sense of like, I think the reason why you love these type of showcases is because we play different genres. And what I think is going to challenge, gamers who are used to these, always the AAA, high fidelity kind of games, is that there's so many gems you miss out on by not trying these games. And I just like they pushing a lot of ideas and cool things forward. I'm getting titles I'm excited about because I'm like, I've never seen anything like that before. Because otherwise, like, we were getting into this very template style of game development, and it gets boring. That's why always have my little weird indies and stuff like. I need those palette cleansers, and these type of shows give it to me. So shout out to obviously State of Play. I like this. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I got to get a little credit too, because it's like, I'm still hard on them about Play Anywhere. And I like that, okay, we're going to do a showcase where everything here is that, right? So what I want is that standard. Every new title, for the most part, obviously GTA ain't going to give you Play Anywhere, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Like, every newer title, I would like that expectation. And hopefully this is something they can commit to. So yeah, I thought it was a really solid show for them.
Beautiful. I agree. All right, Cog, let's wrap this thing up. It's the end of the show. And good show. Love splitting it in two. It's funny because when we finished recording yesterday, we were both like, oh yeah, we have to like wrap up the show tomorrow. Like we didn't even get to do our usual outro, or we usually just like plow right on through. But since we really don't do Game Pass pick of the week, there was nothing to do after except the news and then end things here. So now we have to pick the hashtag. We had a day to think about this one. Does anything come to mind for you?
That's coming to mind right now. It was an interesting one because obviously got the partner showcase. We had our news bits. We had a lot of cool news bits. Very I can't think of a unifying theme for this one.
We did open the show talking about Half-Life 3 and Valve and stuff, and part of me constantly wants to just like put it out into the universe. Okay. I'm a believer on Half-Life 3, so okay. I'm like, do we just Half-Life 3 DD? Just give everyone our energy to the Half-Life 3 spirit bomb.
Yeah, we feel something is percolating.
Brewing. Yeah. Brewing. Let's do it. Half-Life 3 DD. That'll be our hashtag for the week. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tag us on Twitter. I'm at G27status. Cog is at Lord Cognito. Let us know your thoughts on the show. Use the hashtag Half-Life 3 DD. Otherwise, if you don't use social media, that's cool. Comment section down below is a perfectly fine place to use the hashtag. We'd love to hear from you once more. And Cog, it's been excellent doing this with you. And we'll be back next week with episode 256 of Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast. Peace out.
Peace.
Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is a product and trademark of Last Stand Media and Colin's Last Stand LLC, and is recorded from the United States of America. The show is conceived by Matthew Mr. Matty Plays Schroeder and me, Colin Moriarty, and is written and produced by Matthew Schroeder. Matty's co-host is Barry Lord Cognito Eversley. Defining Duke's executive producer is Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. As you know, all of Last Stand Media's shows, including Defining Duke, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer support level on Patreon, and we're thankful for your kindness and generosity.